All right, good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us once again here at Speed Racing Network for our presentation of the Rocky Top 200 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. You see it down there, 200 laps. I have my co-commentator, Byron McDonald, here with me as well. Byron, how you doing tonight, bud? Hey, well, we'll get back to Byron when he gets back in here, but as you said, or as I said, you can see it there. We got 200 laps here at Bristol Motor Speedway. We're going to be running the concrete oval tonight, not on dirt. We're going to be running the concrete, so no fast repairs. And as we've seen these past two races, you're going to need them if you have them. But like I said, not having them tonight, so they're going to have to take care of their stuff. So next, we're going to go ahead and take a look at what we do here at Speed Racing Network with our details. You see right there, we got a 20-week season, and I believe this is week 11 of those 20 weeks, and this is a fixed setup league that we're running here, and no fast repairs. I keep harping on that fact because it's going to be a big one. We're going to need those tonight, and these guys are going to have to do everything they can to take care of their stuff. They pay $15 a week on their entry fees, so this is not a cheap league to run in. So they're going to be running for some big prizes, and we're going to cover that in a second.
All right, Greg. I think I'm back from the abyss. Do you got me here?
Yeah, I got you, Byron.
Yeah, iRacing doesn't like me. I guess I didn't do it. I didn't do a good job showing up last week, so they didn't want me back this week. But I'm here. Don't worry.
Well, like I said, how you doing tonight, bud?
Oh, we're doing great, man. Another night, Bristol, short track racing. Gotta love it. So I'm excited for it and can't wait.
Well, I was just covering the league details for all of our viewers out there. And like I said, we have weekly and season payouts that we're going to be racing for. And you see it right there, that third bullet from the bottom. They're running for $1,000 going to the champion this season.
Absolutely. And man, when they get down to that last race, $1,000 on the line, the pressure's already high as it is. And I just cannot wait to get down to that race. But tonight, man, short track racing, it's going to be a little bump and grind, a little bit of give and take here, but hopefully it'll be a good night.
You told everybody about the give and take factor there, because we're going to need a lot of that tonight. Like I said, with the last two series that ran here, it wasn't necessarily pretty, but they got the races in. So yeah, hopefully these guys took note of what we saw out there, and they're going to take it a little easy on one another. And so yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what they're going to be racing for tonight. We got about 30 cars out there on track, but the winner is going to come away with $75, Byron. Not too bad.
Absolutely. And those watching the broadcast, this may be skewed depending on the amount of turnout tonight, but if everybody that gets in normally shows up, you said first place $75, second place $45, third's going to come away with 30, fourth with 20, and then fifth through seventh will get 15th apiece. So yeah, definitely come away with that top seven. It's going to be hard earned tonight, so it's definitely going to be well worth that 75.
Too bad to be able to get your money back from finishing fifth through seventh, but yeah, good chunk of change going to be out there for grabs for these drivers tonight running in the Great Colosseum, the Last Great Colosseum they like to call it. So let's go ahead and check out our season payouts brought to us by Griffith CPA firm. Go ahead and give them a check out. It's tax season, so it's time. But right there, you see it. We just talked about it. First place, highlighted in green. You're going to be getting $1,000. Man, I'm kind of regretting not signing up for the Cup Series myself, knowing that.
Oh yeah, you got second there, coming away with 600, third with 350, fourth with 225, and fifth with 150. And you see down there also the all-important team championship at $300. But those individuals there, man, if you get to that final race, you're not going to come away empty-handed, and you're going to come away with a pretty hefty payout. And it's going to say a lot, not only for the money, but just to be mentioned in that final five is going to be a good time.
Yeah, you said these are going to be the best of the best drivers making it to that final five, and you have to imagine that they're going to be in contention for that team championship as well. So they're going to be splitting that amongst the 4 or 5 drivers, whether, however many there are in that given team, but you could walk away with some serious cash at the end of this season. So we appreciate everybody that puts forth these prizes and, really brings out the best talent out of all these drivers each week. So let's go ahead and jump into our next award that we like to hand out, presented by Butt Kicker. We're going to go ahead and give out a Butt Kicker to the cleanest driver this season. So go ahead and give them a check out. You know, this is not a cheap piece of equipment that they're racing for. These run for about 180 to $200, and you can use that discount code down there, SRN VS20, for 20% off your order. That's a good $30 off. So check them out.
Absolutely. And this award's going to go to our cleanest driver, which is going to be the least amount of incident points throughout the season. It's going to be tested tonight here at Bristol, definitely, because it's a short track and there's going to be not a lot of room tonight. So these guys that are in contention for this butt kicker definitely got to try to keep those incident points down and try to keep that car clean tonight.
And for those that don't know, you get an incident point or 4, depending on, you know, the severity of it, depending on whether you hit the wall. You can get it from hitting a car. You can get it from spinning out. There's going to be a lot of that tonight. So the cleanest driver from tonight should get their own personal butt kicker from tonight's race. But we always appreciate butt kicker coming on board, and always like to mention too, you can have as many of these as you want. You can have 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, however many you want to run with in your sim rig. So give them a check out and go ahead and use that code, like I said, for 20% off of your order. So next up, we're going to go ahead and talk about our Kane Cook coaching simulate coaching. This dude knows what he's talking about, and I got kind of jumbled up right there because I got really excited to talk about this personally. I booked my first session this week with Kane Cook before our Bristol race, and we didn't even really go to Bristol because I really just wanted to learn about tire management. And we went to Texas Motor Speedway, one of the hardest 1.5 mile ovals to save tires at, and man, I have been doing really well. I've won a couple officials this week, and I haven't finished outside the top 3, Byron.
Absolutely. I've taken advantage of this myself as well, and I can just tell you he's taken my game to a completely never level. So you see there the I rating of 74-14. That's not easy to get to, man, and he's one of those pro drivers. So if you ever get a chance, tune in on every other Tuesday night. I believe they race this Tuesday. He'll be out there in that 15 car, and man, he's a great driver, and he's a great coach as well.
Yeah, I believe they're going to be out at Fontana this week, but yeah, he is known as the NIS fixed legend, according to Landon Castle, it says on our website, and I believe it. This dude knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows the lines you need to run. He knows the throttle control. He knows it all, and he does it from the back each time. He's known as being a hard charger. So that says a lot right there. But go ahead and book your session on speedracingnetwork.com. There's a bunch of links that'll direct you where to go, and it is 110% worth every penny that it costs you. So give it a look. So next up, we're going to go ahead and talk about our individual standings leader, and you see it right there on the season. Jake Rowell is currently our leader coming into Bristol this week, Byron.
Absolutely. He's had a solid race, and you see there he's in the green with James Holtzer, which means they're locked into the playoffs. So they kind of have a pressure-free rest of the season now, knowing that they're locked in, but there's several cars here that could definitely fall out. You know, you got to keep your eye on Austin Reedy, Kyle Spies. That group anywhere below Austin Reedy really has a chance to possibly fall out, but they got to be consistent and just have a good run tonight.
Yeah, they're locked in up there in the top 2, but I have a feeling these guys are going to still be fighting harder than ever this week to get another W on the season. James Holtzer in particular, he's had a great season, probably the best average finish amongst all the drivers, but still yet to get that first win here in SRN. So I know he's hungrier than ever to get out there. But yeah, great group of drivers we're seeing right here. And Damian Leiniger able to sneak back into the cut this week. So yeah, a lot of storylines unfolding as we're only 3 weeks away from hitting the playoffs. But next, let's go ahead and take a look at the drivers that are sitting outside the cut. And you see it right there, Shane Good. He is the one that fell out with Damian Leiniger moving up last week, excuse me. So he's only 4 points out of the cut. That is not a lot, Byron. He can easily get back up there and make some ground on the other guys.
Absolutely, and I got to point to his teammates. You know, everybody else from Rowell Smith Racing is inside the cut line, so you got to believe that they probably took a little bit of extra time this week to work with Shane and make sure that he was on point this week. And I expect him to have a good week, and that's something I look forward to asking one of those guys, hopefully, if we get them up in the booth. But, again, Landon Lacey, he showed up tonight. He's only 25 out. He's one of those guys that's been running up front, so I definitely have a chance. I think he has a chance to possibly crack that top 15.
I mean, you see all the guys in red, that's marking that they are out of contention. So any of the guys that are in yellow can have anything happen and make their way into the cut. So they still have a lot to race for. But yeah, I think the guys that we're going to be really focusing on right now are Shane Good, Landon Lacey, and Brandon Browning. So we're going to have to pay attention to see how their race unfolds tonight and if they can stay out of trouble here at Bristol. But yeah, also, these guys are not going to be, racing for nothing once the playoffs start as well. We got a Tier 2 playoffs that we'll mention later on in the season for the guys that did not make the cut. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the playoff clinching scenarios we can see tonight. We got a lot in front of us right now, but right there at the top, you see Gabriel Ellison has the easiest path to claiming his spot in the playoffs. He just has to finish 24th or better. And Dean Brummett, I know he's been licking his chops all week. He kind of played the pit strategy wrong during the Xfinity Series race, but he loves this track. So I have to imagine a 14th place finish or better is going to be something that's pretty easy for Dean to do if he can stay clean, Byron.
Absolutely. You see Timothy Latham there. All he needs is a 13th place finish. Scott Healy, 9th. Ted Reckett, 7th. And Mitch Rolo, 7th as well. If you're Gabriel Ellison, basically just want to keep this car clean and get that top 24 and lock yourself in. We've raced all season to come down to this point. And knowing that you only got to the 24th, I got to imagine he's going to be definitely inside that tonight and try to get that position.
Yeah, we see a lot of this in front of us, but I have to imagine with the way these guys have been running in particular, none of this is out of the question. Each one of these guys could possibly clinch this playoff spot this week here at Bristol if they can keep the car clean, like we keep saying. So, like I keep saying also, a lot of storylines unfolding right in front of us with only 3 weeks to go to the playoffs. But let's go ahead and check the team championship standings next. They're sponsored by Tropical Smoothie Cafe, and you see it right there, Rowell Smith Racing at the top of the leaderboard with a good 118-point cushion over Filthy 5 Motorsports with 4 wins apiece.
Absolutely, and Filthy 5's having a great run as well. Team SRN there in 3rd, Rev Racing in 4th, Bronco Motorsports in 5th, 6th R&D Motorsports, H2k coming in 7th, and Tank Racing there rounding out in 8th. Just another thing to keep in mind, this thing goes to the end of the season. It's not like it stops at the playoffs. So this team championship is definitely something to keep our eye on. We're going to push the individual standings right now. But, once we get into that playoffs, we'll talk about the playoff standings. And the closer we get to the end of that season, we're going to find out which one of these teams is going to rise to the top.
Yeah, we always appreciate, like you said, this is sponsored by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Go ahead and give them a look. They have a lot of options to offer you. They got flatbreads, wraps, quesadillas, sandwiches. They got breakfast food, and they got, obviously, great smoothies. And we love having them on board with us here at SRN. So let's go ahead and take a look at our team introductions brought to us by Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And like we said, our leaders right now are Rowell Smith Racing, so we're going to go ahead and start with them first. And we're going to see a few win stickers next to the guy at the top of this list with Jake Rowell. He's going to be the captain of that 9 machine. You see 4 wins on the season, but each one of these guys has the capability of pulling in victory lane tonight, Byron.
Absolutely. I see that graphic. I'm starting to feel bad for my man, Sean Griffith, having to make those stickers smaller and smaller each week as Jake Rowell's having a great season. But Jacob Smith as well having a great season. We spoke of Shane Good, 4 points out of the playoffs right now. Dean Brummett, I'm going to go ahead and steal this now. He's my pick for tonight. I'm not even going to give you a chance to get him. And Scott Healy there in the 64. Great team right here. They've had a great season, really, since the Daytona Road Course. It's kicked off since then, and they haven't looked back. So I expect great things from these guys tonight.
They work really well as a team and really build off of each other, and I think that plays into why we see them at the top of the standings week in and week out. So definitely something to pay attention to, see if one of these other 4 guys can get one of them win stickers next to their name. But next up, we're going to go ahead and talk about the team that has been steadily creeping up to them in the standings. 55 Motorsports, you saw it. They're just plain filthy. And they got this team rolling with this nice new lineup that they have of the 5 machine of Timothy Latham and the number 7 Landon Lacey, 2 wins apiece right there.
Absolutely. Kyle Spees there in the 36, 27 Gabriel Ellison, and the 48 of Brandon Browning. Again, Ellison came on late for these guys. He's had a great season, and I think them adding him to the lineup there is just only going to add to their teammates. So I expect this team to really kind of come into form these last 13 weeks and really challenge for that championship.
Yeah, I have to imagine that Landon Lacey is going to be hungry to get inside that cut with those 2 wins to show next to his name. He's sitting about 20, 25 points out like we saw earlier. And Brandon Browning only 30 points out as well. So these guys have been running great last couple of weeks, and I have to imagine that's going to continue coming into this week if they can keep those cars clean, like I keep saying. But next up, we're going to go ahead and talk about the hometown team, as I like to say, Team SRN. So that's going to be fielded by Danny Setzer, who I believe is out today, unfortunately. But the 23 machine of Scott Kalal has been running really good this season, along with the 42 of James Holtzer and the 91 of Ted Rekich.
Absolutely. This team has been consistently in the top 10. The addition of Danny Setzer, unfortunately, not here tonight. But James Holtzer, I expect him to keep his consistency and possibly bring his other teammates along with him as well tonight.
Yeah, I know James, like I said, is hungry to get that W next to his name and get that first win for Team SRN. But Ted Rekich and Scott Kalal are definitely contenders to get that done as well. So excited to see what this three-man team tonight can do out there on Bristol Motor Speedway. So next up, we're going to go ahead and have that fourth place team, our team, Byron, Revved Racing, and that's going to be headed by the team captain there in that 57 machine, Adam Pettit.
Absolutely. The number 12 car there, Damian Leininger, Jordan Vane, the 28, and Brandon Keaton, 75, sporting a new paint scheme tonight. Can't wait to see it tonight out there in the Bristol Motor Speedway. But great team, man. It's going to be about saving tires for these guys, if they're known for, but really just keeping their car clean. We spoke about it tonight. I expect these guys to kind of just take their time and be methodical and really just avoid those wrecks and settle in.
Yeah, Brandon Key and Damian Leininger having some good runs last week, and Damian able to sneak back inside the cut, but has to keep moving up because, like we said, Shane Good is nipping on his heels, and one bad race here tonight can definitely affect that. So moving forward, we're going to go ahead and talk about Bronco Motorsports next, and a little bit of a different look they're going to have this week. It's just going to be Chris Massey in that 83 machine and the number 84 machine of Austin Reedy out there.
Yes, sir. And they've had a good season so far. We've seen them up in the top 15, being consistent each week. So I expect that to continue tonight. And unfortunately, without their teammates, but all in all, if they have a good night tonight, they could still find their way and get some points.
We saw Chris Massey having a really good run last week. Not too sure where he finished, but he's definitely been picking up the momentum as the season's moved on. I know he's not been able to practice as much as he told me earlier on in the season, but that might be taking a change, and Bronco might be fixing to get the ball rolling with those two out on track today. But let's go ahead and bring in R&D Motorsports now, and that's headed by their team captain, the 78 machine of David Duke.
Absolutely. You see there the 4-car of Thomas Rutherford, the 8 of Justin Boyles, Jordan Saylor's there in the 55, and Mitch Rowell in the 96, who also has a win this season. He's been consistent all year. Had a couple of weeks there where he kind of kept getting in some wrecks, but hopefully he can find himself out front and keep that car out front and avoid those wrecks tonight.
Yeah, he had a good race last week at Atlanta. Even found himself getting into some trouble there, but ended up coming away with a 10th place finish and helping his cause to sealing his spot in the playoffs. But let's go ahead and talk about the next team up in the lineup, and that's going to be H2k Motorsports. And I believe we only have one of these guys here tonight in that 94 machine of Greg Wellen. And Byron, we see him running up to the front or starting on the pole week in and week out. So we're just waiting for him to get that win sticker next to his name.
Yeah, consistently up front when it comes to qualifying. Looking for him to put a full race together. He always has that one that green flag run that maybe eats his tires up a little bit much, but I expect him to be up front tonight and competing for that win.
And finally, we're going to see the new team that joined the Cup Series last week, Tank Racing, and we only got two of these guys here as well this week, Joshua Balliet and Joseph Causey. And Joseph Causey raised some eyebrows last week as he ran his way all the way up to the front and was running with Jake Rowell at the end.
Absolutely. You got Seth Berger there in the 77, Max Service in 81, and Joseph Causey,
yep.
And Causey in the 99. This group here hasn't really put a full race together, but I expect these guys to put it together tonight and really just try to avoid those wrecks. And again, one of those things where you just got to try to find your way and have a car at the end. You got a chance.
Definitely. So we're going to have a look at our independent drivers. And the first race here for Lewis Zader in that one machine and the 14 machine of Dave Fuji Jr. And I'm just going to go ahead and speak on Lewis Zader. This is one of my friends from NASCAR Heat, and this guy was running with the Pro League, I believe, for a minute. So this guy definitely knows how to get around these tracks. I'm not sure how long he's been running on iRacing, but he knows how to run up front.
Yeah, definitely gonna be exciting to see what he can do tonight. As you see him there, already in the top 12. So let's check him out.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at our lineup for tonight's Rocky Top 200 here at Bristol Motor Speedway. And starting on the pole, you see one of those RSR drivers, Jacob Smith. He is looking to turn the tide, it looks like, and maybe run up front and lead some laps tonight, potentially get that win. And then second is Gabriel Ellison, who we just mentioned needs to finish 24th or better to clinch that spot in the playoffs this week, Byron.
Absolutely there. Mitch Rowell in third, and Scott Haley gonna come in fourth there for Rowell Smith Racing.
Yeah, and then fifth, we got Revd Racing's Damian Leiniger, who is just above the cut heading into the playoffs, and Landon Lacey, who needs to get inside the cut, starting sixth.
Louis Zader, you spoke on him earlier. He's rolling off seventh, and Dean Brummett, my pick, is going to roll off eighth for Rowell Smith Racing.
Starting ninth is going to be Adam Pettit, the captain of Revd Racing, and Tank Racing, one of their two contenders tonight, Joshua Balliot in the 74 machine, starting 10th.
Timothy Latham's going to roll off 11. Keep your eye on him. Definitely a good car. I expect to be out front here soon. Don't be surprised about that 11 or that 5 car finding its way to the front. And Joseph Kazi there in 12th place for Tank Racing.
Joseph Causey, like I said, had a really good race in Atlanta last week, so he's going to be making his way up to the front as well. But we got the cars gridding up on the very short pit road, and that looks super crowded. So the pace car is going to roll off here in about 5 seconds, and we're going to get this show started, Byron. What do you expect to see tonight?
Yeah, you said it looks crowded there. I think these cars are going to get a lot closer than this. I expect these guys to kind of settle in. They saw the first 2 races. I expect a short green flag run here. Early on, everybody's settling in, being cautious, and then the action is going to pick up.
It looks like Jacob's having a little trouble getting the car started. There you go. He's going to peel off pit road and get caught up to the pace cars. They only have 1 pace lap, so they're going to have to hurry up here. But I guess I have a pick to make, huh, Byron? I need to take a look here.
That it is you do, man. I already stole Dean Brummett, the crowd favorite, so don't even think about it. You go somewhere else.
I'm going to go ahead and take that 27 machine starting on the outside pole. Gabriel Ellison's my pick tonight, so let's see what these boys can do as they're going to – I think they have 2 pace laps tonight, excuse me. I'm used to doing just 1 within SRN, but luckily they gave us the benefit of the doubt to get everybody situated heading around off the pit road there, because it is a quick pace lap.
Absolutely, and I cannot wait for these cars to roll off, man. I'm excited, you know. Like we said, it was kind of a wreck fest, but I expect these guys to be calm and just really have a good race, so I'm excited for it.
There's no reason these guys can't do it. We've seen them have a lot of clean races after, the first 2 series. Have maybe had a rough start to their races on their respective weeks, so I expect these guys to really bring it tonight. Race clean, but race strong, too. And Jacob Smith's going to get a good start as we're green here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Absolutely got a great jump there on the inside line. You're going to see these guys riding up top. Both lanes are preferably, but mostly that top line is going to be the one that's going to get you around this track the fastest. You're going to see the 11 car there diving in the corner. You're going to see that a lot tonight.
Yeah, we're going to see that trouble probably occur when you guys have to make that pass on the inside. Everyone's going to be running that high line to get the momentum off into the straightaway. But yeah, like I said, you're going to have to maybe cut a few people off to make a clean pass, and that's where the trouble comes into play. We're going to see Timothy Latham on the inside of Adam Pettit here on the 57 machine. He's going to try to clear him, but then he's going to have that 74 car, Joshua Balliot, to try and clear too. So the problem with that is you can do it and be fast down there, but it's going to eat your tires up a little more as you're trying to aggressively, be on the throttle quickly to clear that car.
Absolutely, and that's the urgency, and I think that's where a lot of drivers get in trouble is they know the urgency of getting off that bottom lane and making that pass because you're getting slower and slower. You're just slowly eating your tires up. As you see Latham make the pass there for 9th place over Joshua Balliet. He's making his way to the field, but you just got to be patient, and it's so difficult to do here at Bristol.
Yeah, so already we're done with 5 laps. It just goes by so quick. So if this stays green for a good minute, we might have a very long broadcast, but you see there, Kazi. Looks like they're starting to bunch up back there in turn 2, but they're going to keep it going straight.
Yeah, so I believe Adam Pettit there got in the wall, and that kind of checked everybody up, and you see the damage there. But good job, everybody staying off of them and really just keeping it clean. Again, it's so easy to find yourself in the wall or spinning out from out of these corners. And unfortunately, there, Adam Petty got the stripe there first.
Looks like Shane Good is off the pace. If we can get our producer to go ahead and tune in on him, he is well off the pace, and that is the guy that is sitting 16th in the points right now, just 4 points outside the cut. Not sure if he has any damage or if he's just, kind of trying to stay away from everything that might happen, but he is well back.
Yeah, I absolutely love that paint scheme, though. I don't know if that's a Gordon paint scheme or if that's a William Byron paint scheme, but that thing's spicy to say the least.
Yeah, you can see the cars are barely in the picture in front of him, so he might just be playing a strategy here to keep that car clean. We mentioned it at the beginning of this broadcast, no fast repairs for these cars, so it could be a smart play on his part. But right now, we're going to go take a look at Chris Massey trying to clear the 91 machine of Ted Wreckage, but if I know Ted Wreckage, he's not going to let him just have it here, so he's going to be fighting on the outside.
Absolutely. You see the car there a little bit slow in front of him, Kyle Spees. That's where it gets tricky, too. That car in front of you could be a roadblock, and unfortunately, Spees, they're off the pace, but Massey able to get to the top.
Yeah, these guys doing a good job so far of not taking it 3 wide, being very patient on their passes, and I think it's going to pay off for a lot of these guys in the end. We want to see clean race cars and, everybody finishing, but we know Bristol, and that's not going to be the case. We're going to see some action start happening here soon.
Oh, absolutely. And I think I gotta think in the back of their heads they know they have no fast repairs, and you can get in a lot of trouble here pretty quick. If that track gets blocked by anyone, your night could be over so quick. So I think that's in the back of these drivers' heads, being patient, and Jacob Smith right now drawing that gap.
He's just pulling away from Gabriel Ellison. You see about 3/4 of a second lead here, but here's the Hornet's Nest starting from James Holtzer on back. Austin Reedy able to clear David Duke. David might have let him have it there, knowing, oh, wow, he's getting real loose off the turn, so he's going to have to keep it down here, and he's just going to get just steamrolled on the top here.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, too, man. You lose your momentum, and all of a sudden you start dropping, but you got to be like one of those cars there, the 91 of Ted Wreckage. If you're on the inside trying to make that pass, if he starts dropping back, that's where it starts getting airy because you have nowhere to go. So good job for those drivers staying off of them and keeping this thing green.
Some really good racing we're seeing here right now. Austin Reedy making a move on the inside of Thomas Rutherford, I believe. He's making his way up toward the front, too. So the Bronco car is running really well to start this race off. And, there's a lot of different strategies at hand right now. I talked to Jordan Bain before the race, and he said he doesn't really know what he's going to do, but he was leaning towards the strategy of maybe running in the back of the pack like we see Shane Good doing. But that also leads you to being invulnerable of going a lap down. And if this thing stays green for a while, you're going to have multiple cars start going a lap down. You might not get that lap back.
Absolutely, and that's where things are going to get a little weird as well, too, when those leaders catch those the back of that pack. That lap track is going to be so crucial getting through that cleanly and, also saving those tires at the same time.
I'm going to take a look at the map. It looks like the leader, Jacob Smith, is coming on to the front stretch as Shane Good is pulling off. So he's within a straightaway of Shane Good. Yeah, Gabriel Ellison starting to catch up to our leader, as you can see there as well. Mitch Rollo tightening the gap too.
I was going to say, don't forget to mention Mitch Rollo back there in the picture as well. We spoke about him and how he's had a good season, and if he's able to keep that car out of the wrecks, as you see him here in third, I believe he has a chance to win this race tonight.
Someone's smoking down there, but able to hopefully keep it down off the track. Trying to see, it looks like it was Brandon Browning. Well off the pace and now falling a lap down. One of those drivers who we said really needs a good race to make his way towards the making it inside the cut for the playoffs. So a long way to go in this race, but something to pay attention to. If, like I said, this thing stays green, that might not be very good for him. He's going to have a lot of cars go a lap down here shortly as Jacob Smith starts bearing down on the back of this pack.
Absolutely. You got to know that's in the back of their minds as well. Knowing that those playoffs are on the line. There's only 2 weeks left after this, and these guys know the importance of this race tonight. So the pressure of getting into that, you see Timothy Latham getting to the wall.
Yeah, it's so easy to, and he's going to spin and try to keep it straight, and he does a great job. What a save. He's going to still be, he must have burned those tires up a little bit when he was making those passes on the inside, but he's going to keep it going. Heck of a save by the 5.
Yeah, that just shows the talent of Timothy Latham there. Majority of the drivers would have been to the inside wall and already disconnected, but able to save it, and Rutherford goes around. We're going to get a yellow flag and get a replay of that one.
I'm just going to give a clap of the hands to these Cup drivers right now. They just went 25 laps green. That is no easy feat. So kudos to them, man. That was some really good racing we saw out there. And I'm really worried that Thomas Rutherford just pulled up in front of one of the cars on track and maybe caused some more damage as he was trying to get going in the right direction. We'll have to look into that. But yeah, we got a rec replay here brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. Check him out on Shopify. But he's going to get hit here and sent to the inside by Jordan Sailors in the 55 machine. Good job of Jordan Bain on missing him. But I want to stay here.
I mentioned that was his teammate putting him into the wall there.
Yeah, so I want to stay here and see if he did pull up into the track and maybe got someone else involved here. Not too sure. He's got to find a spot. This is the trickiest part of them all. You could lose another lap, but oh yeah, so it was close. That's what I saw.
It was almost his teammate that put him in the wall.
Yeah. Woo! That was close, but yeah, once that pace car passes you there, you're going to lose another lap. So good for Thomas Rutherford. I think he did lose one, but he could have easily lost two there.
Unfortunate for him. His teammate looks like he came a little bit too hot and got into him. Luckily, he hit that wall. He may be hurting there on that one.
Luckily, this is short track racing where aerodynamics will not play too much of a factor. It might tighten him up a little bit, but he's definitely going to be able to keep going on. He's going to have to wait another lap before he can go fix that damage, but luckily he's going to be pitting from the front because he's probably going to have some optional repair time to fix that stuff. Yeah, so these two cars are both lapped down out on track. They have to wait their turn, but Browning might be staying out. I think he's waiting to get his lucky dog pass if he wasn't involved in anything, and we didn't see him hit the cars that were involved, so he should be getting his lap back here anytime now.
Oh, he's showing the leader. He stayed out, and that must be a scoring error. It has to be because he got passed for the leaders earlier. When he came under caution or before the caution came out, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how it unfolds. It's a wonky track because you got cars that are gonna be everywhere. As he's gonna probably peel down here to go to the pits. They enter in turn 2 and they'll exit out of turn 1. So it's a very confusing pit lane to say the least, Byron.
Yeah, I believe I don't know what he's doing. iRacing's confusing, but yeah, confusing as well is the pit road. Fortunately for us, we have one pit road, so like you said, you enter in on the backstretch and exit out coming out of, I believe it is going into 1. So, yeah, when we get to those green flag pit stops, though, that's going to be the crucial part of it is when you decide to pit and how long you stay out, because you can go down 3 laps if you pit early here.
Yeah, you see that blue line. We just can't see it anymore, but yeah, there's a blue line on the inside apron of turns 3 and 4. That's just to show you that this is pit lane, so you're not allowed to enter or you'll receive a penalty. You got to enter going off the 2, so it's a little something to get used to, but once you start doing it, it definitely makes sense. But we're already getting ready to go back to green flag racing as these guys are stacking up 2 wide with Jacob Smith still our leader, and we saw Gabriel Ellison and Mitch Rollo running him down there towards the end of that run.
Absolutely. You got to believe these drivers learned a little bit there with the tires, knowing how hard they push them. So you got to believe that Mitch Rollo and Gabriel Ellison learned a little bit, knowing they're catching them towards the end, and possibly have something for Jacob Smith there.
This car has peeled off, and Jacob Smith, you see that there, gets a nice little jump, but Gabriel Ellison, not too bad. You know, he's staying in there. He's going to hang on to second more than likely unless Mitch Rollo can clear him. He's going to go ahead and tuck in behind him, and we got single file from 1st through 6th.
Yeah, I saw that there on the restart. That 4th place car got in the wall a little bit and got into Damian Leininger, but luckily able to hold on to it and really get straightened out. We're going to see what these cars have here.
Yeah, so our top 10 right now, Jacob Smith, Gabriel Ellison, Mitch Rollo, Landon Lacey, Damian Leininger, our top 5, and then 6 through 10, Dean Brummett, Scott Healy, Timothy Latham, Joshua Balliot, and our newcomer, Louis Zader, rounding out that top 10. But, man, it is going to be a hornet's nest back there from about 7th on back.
100%, because these guys are they know how important that track position is. So on these restarts, you try to get as much as you can before those tires fall off, because it becomes even more difficult as the run goes on. As you see that new paint scheme there, Brandon Key looking absolutely gorgeous. I love it, and glad to see him have a new paint scheme, but keep the same number.
Yeah, kind of makes you feel like a new man sometimes when you come with a new paint. So hopefully that's going to transcribe into him having a good race tonight, and so far keeping it clean, and that's gonna get him there in the end, hopefully. But we see Kyle Spees on the inside, kind of off the pace a little bit as that high line just rolling on by. And that's the thing. You just lose so much momentum here. Now he's under attack by Adam Pettit here.
Shane Good pulling off the inside. Looked like he might have got a little bit loose. This may not just be one of those tracks that Shane Good's just not comfortable at. Unfortunately, having a rough night to start, or a rough start to the night.
Hopefully he gets things turned around if he wants to keep into contention to the playoffs. So something to pay attention to as we're nearing lap 40 here at Bristol. This race is just flying by, but right now Jacob Smith flying in the front and Gabriel Ellison not too far back. Landon Lacey starting to fall a little bit back. He restarted 4th that time. He's fallen back to 6th, but he's got his teammate Timothy Latham there behind him.
Yeah, it was Landon Lacey who I spoke of that got a little bit of that damage. You saw his rear end, and you see Damian Leininger there with no front end now due to him getting into Landon Lacey. You got to believe that both of those are affected by that substantial damage they both got.
What are you thinking so far? This is crazy, and I've never covered any race like this. This is just action all over the place.
Absolutely. You know, I kind of felt it. You know, I said that I thought they'd get a quick green flag run in and kind of figure out what they got. And again, I think it plays a lot. I mentioned it earlier in the chat this week. I think the fast repair plays a lot in it because these guys know they cannot make mistakes. So maybe not going as hard as they're supposed to be going, but they're still driving these cars and having a great run. And you see Jake Rowell there under pressure there from Brandon Keith.
To the inside again, they're losing some more momentum as the cars are just, oh wow, Jake Rowell gets a little bit of contact there. He's gonna have to fight to save it, and he does a great job again. Another one of our best drivers in the league doing a heck of a job to save that car from, you know, hitting any of the walls. And he's just got a little bit of rear bumper damage, and that's not going to affect him at all here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Yeah, normally I would say that 9 car is good luck, but you know, we saw that race last year how Chase Elliott took himself out. I don't know if I like that 9 car being here at Bristol, but all in all, having a solid run. He's locked in, like we said, so there's no pressure to perform, and I believe he's going to get up front tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure he's talking his teammate Jacob Smith through everything that he's asking him. This team is very communicative towards one another and helping each other on strategy calls and whatnot. So right now it's looking really good for that 11 machine as he's got a good 6/10 gap over second place Gabriel Ellison. But it was around about this time in the last green flag run that we saw that 27 machine getting bigger and bigger in his rearview mirror, and you see that gap starting to get smaller, ticking off to about half a second now.
Absolutely, and you know, I definitely see Ellison possibly running them down, but we see here is Austin Reedy slowly working his way through the field up to 15th now, trying to make his move here on Scott Kowal.
His passes are so hard. You see his car just break loose there on exit. He's trying to put the hammer down and stay beside Scott Kowal to maybe hopefully do a little slide job in the next turn, but the car just doesn't want to stick, and that's going to put him back about 2 car lengths from that 23 machine. He's going to have to make that up again.
Absolutely. And it goes back to me saying, you know, oh, you see Landon Lacey get a little loose there. It goes back to saying, you know, you got to set these passes up and you got to be precise with it. You can't waste time down on the bottom because you'll see like Landon Lacey there got loose and now he lost the position to Timothy Latham, and Latham now making a charge.
There's too many spots. You can easily find yourself back in the 20s in no time as all these cars are just right on top of each other here. It's just wild to see, and I love that it's staying green. We're already a quarter of the way through this race. They've completed 50 laps. We're on lap 51 here. And we got battles all over the racetrack. As we see Jake Rowell on the high side of David Duke. David Duke's going to try everything he can to clear Jake here, but knowing Jake, he's not going to just let that happen. He, like I said, wants to keep that track. We got the yellow flag out. Looks like off of turn 4 here. 2 Jordans getting involved. Jordan Sailors and Jordan Bain getting into one another. And the damage, like I keep saying, doesn't look too bad on these cars. So at the short track races, it's not going to be too detrimental to their cause tonight. But let's go ahead and take another look at a rec replay brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. And like I said, just check them out on Shopify.
Absolutely. We're going to see here Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Sailors just probably thought he was clear. And unfortunately, he chopped the nose there of Jordan Bain, and they're both going to end up on the inside. Luckily, neither one of those drivers got too much damage. They should both be okay.
Almost looked like Jordan might have got into the wall on his screen. Yeah, he got into the wall there, and it shoved him down. That'll just shoot you right down the track, and Jordan Bain, just innocent bystander there. But like you see there, the damage on these cars not too bad. They both have their noses. They're going to have a little bit of optional repairs, which you're going to want to take care of to avoid your water temps from getting too high. But yeah, Jordan Sailor's just getting into that outside wall there.
Absolutely, and hopefully not too bad there for either driver, but it's got to be frustrating knowing that just a little top of that wall there could potentially put you in the back.
So we're going to see everybody come down pit road again, as that was another 24-lap run under green flag conditions. These guys are doing a great job tonight of making that happen, and let's see what these guys do, if it shakes up the order or not. This 27 could get out in front of the 11 machine here.
Yeah, I think every time you come down tonight, you got to take 4 tires. It's going to be so crucial tonight, just because of having to make those passes on the inside and burning those tires up. So I expect a little less strategy tonight. As you see, I say that, but I believe David Duke looked like he took 2 tires and got out.
That was a battle for a second there. We saw, I think it was David Duke coming hot for Gabriel Ellison and Mitch Rollo. They about tied coming off of pit road, but I believe Gabriel Ellison's going to come off second there, Mitch Rollo third.
Okay, I do not believe that was. I believe that was Dean Brummett.
Oh, okay. There's
that's
2
what
Tennessee
threw me off. Unfortunately, I didn't expect it to be this many Tennessee football fans in this field tonight. Let alone in the stadium that they. But you know, whatever. Tennessee football is Tennessee football. But I can't hate my pick, Dean Brummett in the Tennessee football. I'll give him a break tonight.
I will give them credit. They have some very loyal fans with the Tennessee Volunteers, but we got 2 of those cars that are running identical paint schemes, so I apologize for the confusion there. But yeah, Dean Brummett making his way up on pit road. He's going to be starting on the outside of second row. But if we have time, let's go ahead and run through our top 10 as we see it right now. And Jacob Smith is our leader right there. And just behind him in second is going to be Gabriel Ellison in that 27 machine, with third place being Mitch Rollo, Byron.
Absolutely. You see there, Scott Healy's going to be behind him. Or Dean Brummett, I'm sorry.
He's confusing us all over the place.
These guys can't keep it going together. Scott Healy there in 5th. And we'll have Timothy Latham coming in 6th, with Damian Leininger going to be 7th.
With no nose.
And 8th place will be Landon Lacey.
Yeah, and then 9th place, that 74 tank machine of Joshua Balliot, and the other tank racing machine, the 99 car of Joseph Causey. So we got some newcomers coming up into the top 10, but I'm impressed to see that number 12 machine with no nose running up there. But it looks like Jacob Smith's going to take the high line on this restart, something a little different here, and he's going to get a good jump and bring Dean Brummett, his teammate, with him. I have to imagine that might have been a little bit of a plan there.
Absolute strategy call there, as Dean Brumman's going to look to the inside and possibly going to play that card against Jacob Smith and possibly take the lead.
Yeah, Jacob's going to be able to clear him here. Dean's got to be careful not to burn his stuff up, and like we said, he absolutely loves this track. He's we're 3 wide. This is not going to be good back there.
Landon Lacey, he saves it.
Wow.
He saved it. Oh, he almost saved it. What a drive by Landon Lacey. David Duke into the pits, hit the wall.
Wow, man, I really thought Landon Lacey's day was going to be done hitting that inside pit wall, but luckily he cleared that, still causing a little bit of an accident coming back up on the track, but nothing he could do there. We're going to take another wreck replay for our 3rd caution of the night by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. Wow.
I saw this going into, I believe it was turn 3. Timothy Latham went 3 wide, and I just knew it wasn't going to end well.
Yeah, a lot of these guys did a really good job of avoiding that, but unfortunately you see Adam Pettit, he's going to lose his nose after this incident, and I think Jordan Sailors might have already lost his nose from his previous accident, but yeah.
Ted Reckitt's huge damage there as well. Some playoff implications here in this wreck for sure.
Man, I think Landon Lacey just saw what was happening in front of him, and he started to check up, and Causey, not really seeing it happening right in front of him, and kind of just sent him to the inside there, and not much Landon can do, but hopefully he's able to get that damage fixed enough to still contend tonight, because he's going to need a good run.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like he hit that car in front of him, or it looked like he hit Ted Reckich hard enough there to possibly damage that nose, but not too terrible there on the front. So hopefully his RPMs are sitting good right now.
I know we're already off the replays, but man, I wish we could have taken a look from inside Landon's car, as he was so close to hitting that wall, and that would have for sure ended his night. But a great job to keep it off of there. But I think my producer is going to go ahead and give us a look here. We're going to take a little rewind here, and we'll go ahead and see what happens right in front of him. And I think he just gets off the gas. We'll see the RPMs. It's a fade off. Yeah, he gets. Wow, that was so close.
The thing is, I thought he was going to save it, but I think the pull to the right there brought him back across the track, and that's eventually what was the doom to him.
That all happened so fast here. Not much he can do.
Yeah, he's done there. As we saw the shot there, as he was in the pits, I believe he had 300 RPM, which means he's pretty much done. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, Sean. That affects my bracket.
Yeah, Sean Griffith giving us a little bit of an update on the NCAA tournament, letting us know that UCLA just upset Alabama. It's been a wild year in March Madness as well as here in SRN. So if you guys are paying attention to that and you maybe had Alabama going to the Final Four, your brackets just got busted even more. So thanks for that little tidbit, Sean.
Well, my pick here, Dean Brummett, sitting second, thanks to his teammate there on the last restart, man. I really think Dean's wanting to get up front and get that clean air. But right now, I think really it's about holding off Gabriel Olsen and Scott Healy behind him.
See 3 RSR cars. Our current team standings leader at this point in the season sitting there in the top 4 with Jacob Smith, Dean Brummett, and Scott Healy. So they're having a great race so far, and I have to imagine Jake Rowell isn't going to sit back there for too long. He might just be biding his time, trying to keep that car clean. But as you can see, like I said, Damian Leininger is sitting there with no nose. You can run with a busted-up car here at Bristol. So we're going to see what happens as Jacob Smith takes the inside line, and Dean Brummett's going to be on the outside. Pace car about to peel off, Byron.
Yeah, here we go. Jacob Smith, we'll see the type of jump he gets here. He gets a good one, though, but Dean Brummett, he's in the same chat. They got a good jump there on Gabriel Olsen.
I have to imagine that they're communicating, and I have to imagine also that Jacob Smith knows what Dean Brummett has here at Bristol, so he's going to be trying to get as big a gap as he can. But you see them kind of diamonding the turns now, starting a little bit in the middle, going up high, and then coming off down the middle as well. That's going to be your best line here at Bristol. We got another caution breeding cautions. We got David Duke around in the other Tennessee car, and now you can see they have identical looking cars. Looks like he has minimal damage, but we're going to go ahead and have to take a look at our 4th wreck replay brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. Check them out. They got all kinds of die-cast, t-shirts, hats. You can look for it. So look for Google or Shopify if you want to go ahead and check out Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. But yeah, just more 3-wide action right in front of them. They kind of sorted out here, and I have to imagine it's going to be something here with this 42 car. Oh, no, it's into Boehner there. Jordan Bain in that 28 machine. He just clipped his rear quarter panel and sent him into the inside, but he's going to be able to get that fixed up and get that 78 machine back out here. And I have to imagine we'll be seeing David Duke running up towards the front here later on.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been a bit of netcode there. Yeah, Just a little bit. He got a little high there, but unfortunately for David Duke, spin down to the inside wall, hopefully able to keep that nose. Not too much damage there, but I got to believe he's going to come down here and get in the pits and hopefully fix that up.
When you start seeing these cautions, though, add up one after another, you're going to start seeing different strategy play out. So we're going to have a few people go down pit road this time to get some new tires, and while the leaders, they're going to stay out in front and try to keep that track position. So we'll have to see how many people actually went down. I think I'm seeing about 6 to 8 cars that pitted this time around.
I was going to say, I would be very shocked if Rowell was one of those guys. Maybe expected to get up here with his teammates and possibly run that same strategy. So it'd be interesting to see if he went down pit road or if he's going to stay out here and possibly try to get that 9 car up front.
I think he did. Yeah, you see him right there in front of that 14 machine, which we want to go ahead and take a look at whenever we can. Dave Fuji running a special Metallica paint scheme, and it looks pretty awesome. I'm a big Metallica fan myself, and that's really cool.
Oh, absolutely. And Master of Puppets, man. That's a cool paint scheme.
Yeah, man, I might have to go to him to get my next paint scheme done. I like to do all my paints myself, but that is a clean-looking number 14 machine. And it's good to see Fuji back this week, as we haven't seen him the last couple weeks. But you see there, he's got a little bit of a crinkled-up nose, so He might be fighting water temps here soon, but if it doesn't stay green for too long, he might not have to worry about it. But
I don't want to give the old broadcaster jinx, but Jacob Smith probably has the cleanest car in the field right now. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, the safest spot is up front. That's the age-old tale. I mean, but anything can happen. I mean, if we get that green flag run like we saw earlier, they're going to start coming up on those lap cars, and then he's going to have to be fighting to make some passes too. And as we've seen, it's not an easy thing to do here at Bristol.
Absolutely. That's the leader. That's the one part that you start to get nervous about when you do catch that lap traffic. It's going to happen tonight eventually, you know, once we get these green flag runs. And once you do, it's how you navigate it, which really determines whether you win or lose. We saw it with Matt DiBenedetto, was it 2 years ago? You know, yeah. with Ryan Newman at Bristol. So just because you have the lead and you have a gap there doesn't mean you're safe. So Bristol's the one track that you're never safe at.
Yeah, so just a little bit of a race recap. Right now, you see right there, the 11 machine of Jacob Smith is our leader, and we've only had 4 cautions through 70 laps, 19 laps run under yellow. So these guys have had a great race so far, and I have no doubt that they can get it going again under green. As you know, things have kind of gotten a little crazy here lately, but I'm sure they all are talking to one another. But right now, Jacob Smith's going to get another good start on Dean Brummett and try to get that gap.
Absolutely. You see him dive off there. As you see Timothy Latham move up to third there on the outside around Scott Healy, breaking up that RSR top 3, and expect him to be up here challenging for the lead here pretty shortly. And
I want to go ahead and point someone out to you, Byron, because you weren't here last week. Oh, but Jordan Bain on the inside there, off the pace. He's going to try and keep clear of these other cars. I think he's good. But before I got cut off there, I want to go ahead and bring someone up to you, Byron, that you didn't get to see last week. Joseph Causey is up to 5th in that 99 car running for Tank Racing. He can bring it, and he is making his way up to the front.
Absolutely, getting around Mitch Rowell there, who we spoke on earlier, kind of dropping back, and possibly these guys are riding to the top. You got to remember, these guys came down and got fresh tires, so Jake Rowell on the inside wall, huge damage. Everybody else able to stay off of him, but man, our points leader may be done from that.
It was a heck of a dodge by Landon Lacey. I'm going to be curious to see if everybody else was able to stay off of the wall after dodging Jake Rowell spinning there in the middle of the track. But yeah, our points leader, heavy damage on our 5th caution of the night, and we're going to go ahead and check our rec replay out and see what happened. Like I said, brought to us by the one and only Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. He might have gotten into Josh Balliet there, and straight to the inside with a hard hit on that inside wall there. Everybody else did a great job to avoid him, though.
Yeah, you got that left rear. You got that left rear there, unfortunately. But I got to believe I saw there, here goes Ted Reckett.
This is going to be a wild view to see, just see how fast it all happens. He gets a little turned, and that kind of probably helps him a little bit. A heck of a save, as you saw a car up above him too, and the car spinning to the inside, and he just missed it all. I think that might have been a blessing in disguise for whoever tapped him in the back and sent him to a little to the inside.
Yeah, we saw Shane Good there as well. He was the car that was coming down across the infield there in the turn. He got turned as well, but Wreckage able to avoid him and able to save it as well.
Yeah, you see all kinds of chaos happening, and Ted Wreckage didn't hit one car.
Absolutely. We saw Kyle Speeds get turned there a little bit. We're going to check out Landon Lacey here.
No, he didn't. Wow. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at David Dukes on board. We might see that he just had nowhere to go and might not have known what was happening in front of him. Kind of sent Ted Wreckage to the inside, but like you said, sent him to the right side of Jake Rowell, and he missed everything. Yeah, just it all happened so fast, and David Duke's gonna have a lot of front end damage from that.
Yeah, a lot of top contenders there involved in that, and hopefully once we get this thing sorted out and these guys kind of get that damage fixed, they're still able to contend tonight.
Filthy 5 Motorsports having a rough go so far here at Bristol. That's our second place team in the standings, and they need to do everything they can to get up to the front, as we see RSR claiming the top 2 spots so far. Scott Healy sitting there in 4th as well. Jake Rowell might be done for the night, but he might be able to keep that car going. We'll pay attention to that too. Yeah, you see right there, he's going to bring that car back out on the track. He's still got a front end, so Like I said, short track racing, you don't really need too much aerodynamics. You just need an engine that's running and 4 tires, and you're in contention here to potentially run in a top 10 finish. But let's go ahead and take a look at what we have coming up in May, as we are still under caution here. We got the All-Star race coming up for Speed Racing Network, Byron.
Absolutely. You see there, draft day Saturday, May 1st. Qualifier races will be Saturday, May 8th, and All-Star race Sunday, May 9th. All of this will be broadcasted here on the Speed Racing Network. We're going to take the ARCA cars out to Indianapolis and put them on the track and let them go. We're going to have a draft, 4 captains, and it's going to be a lot of excitement and a lot of fun time.
Yeah, I'm bummed that I'm going to be working during it, but it's still going to be a blast to watch all of it unfold. We're going to have our own very draft and a great race to boot, and we're going to see who is the best of the best as we go to Indy. But right now, we're going to see if Jacob Smith can still keep that lead over his teammate Dean Brummett. Dean Brummett not getting the best restart there. Fell asleep a little bit. You see a 3-car gap from Jacob Smith on back to Brummett.
Absolutely. See there also for third, Timothy Latham. Trying to get clear of Scott Healy. He was able to last time. He was on the outside, but Healy has the preferred line up top, making it hard.
And so we're RSR looking to claim the top 3 spots in this race so far, and that's going to pay huge dividends towards the team championship standings if that stands. Timothy Latham going to do everything he can to not let that happen, but still under attack from Mitch Rollo here. Latham might lose another spot, but no, he's able to clear Rollo.
Yeah,
we have another yellow.
We got a yellow flag coming back out.
Yeah, looks like it was off of turn 1 there. Chris Massey and Holtzer might have been getting involved with one another. That 83 machine looking pretty banged up.
Looked like he took a bite out of a sandwich, man, with that front end going.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our 6th rec replay of the night. See what happened here with 2 of our veterans in the league. So we're trying to figure out where it exactly happened. It's a little bit ahead of this.
Outspeed, looked like he was off speed.
Inside with Landon Lacey. Might have just been evasive maneuvers there. Oh, a little bit of, yeah. See short track tempers starting to come out there as he saw Speeds kind of drive up into wreckage. Huh. We're going to try and figure out what exactly happened here. I can't imagine that would bring out a caution, but yeah, that was a little love tap there from the 36 to the 91, so. Not too sure what happened here to bring out, yeah, might be a Balliet. Is that Balliet? Okay, so it was Chris Massey. Let's see what happened here. Okay, gets into the outside wall and gets into Greg Wellen there in that beautiful 94 machine. So you saw Chris Massey's car before he got on the wall, having a rough night so far, but getting Greg Wellen involved there too. So Greg Wellen's going to have some damage to come down and fix.
Yeah, that there just shows the amount of mistake it takes to get in some trouble. He barely tapped that wall and sent him right to the inside, and unfortunately caught Greg Wellen. So hopefully able to get that damage fixed, get back out there and put some laps in.
Absolutely no room for error here, but see a few cars coming down pit road, and looks like Lewis Zater getting some fresh tires as well, as he's been having a good run tonight.
Absolutely, and we're getting closer and closer to this halfway point. We kind of figured out who has what tonight, and so my pick so far, Dean Brummett looking great, but Jacob Smith's been the talk of the town so far and led every lap so far.
Yeah, I'm sure things are going to switch up here if we can get a good green run going like we saw at the beginning of this race, but it's kind of hard to do anything when you just have caution after caution, and that's something that you see. I mean, even in real racing at Bristol, it's just there's no room for error here. It's such a small track, and it's so fast, so these guys still doing a great job. Only 6 cautions through about 90 laps so far on the night.
Absolutely, we're going to stack them up here again and get going green, and You got to believe that Dean Brummett's been itching. He's sitting here in second, finally got the track position, yet to have got that green flag run that we've had early in the race since he's been up here. So I'm excited to see what he has, and he's itching to really see what this 25 car has.
Yeah, I have to imagine that Dean is going to put the work on his teammate here and not let him get away too far, as he fell asleep a little bit that last restart. Might have just been Jacob getting a good jump on him rather than him falling asleep, but hey, so we're about to go green as pace car goes off, and Jacob Smith is in control, and you see him there. Another good restart, but Dean is a lot closer this time.
Absolutely, and again, to point out, Timothy Latham this time starting on the outside, so he's going to get that preferred line, and possibly Damian Liner going to fill that gap as well, get outside of Scott Healy.
Yeah, Scott Healy missed an opportunity to slide up. He needs to really slide up in front of that 12, as you see him do it right there. He's going to hold on to fourth and force Damian to pass him on the inside. But right now, you see Dean Brummett snipping at the heels of his teammate, Jacob Smith. He's got to be careful not to hit him, because that could easily ruin his night.
Absolutely. And you got to think that, Jacob hasn't felt this pressure all night. We're 90 laps in this race, and this is the closest anyone's got before the caution came out. So you got to wonder, in the back of his mind, if he's not mirror driving a little bit, it could possibly throw himself off his game.
Seeing Shane Good, I think he's back on the lead lap. He's starting to make some moves as he's on the inside of Landon Lacey a little bit further back. He's trying to make his way back up into the top 10, fighting for 13th right now.
Absolutely. And the main difference I see out of these guys is, the leaders are using every inch of this track. The front two guys are right up against that wall there in the turns. And the difference here is you see these guys are a little bit below that line, and that's where that speed is really made up. So hats off to those guys being able to run that wall, because it's not an easy thing to do.
Forrest's getting as close to the wall as he possibly can, but yeah, great racing right now. But I'm worried that Shane Good might be in trouble here, as he cannot get back up to the high line. He's got James Holtzer up to his high side now, so he could be falling back here.
Yeah, it's one of those things, though. You don't have to press, though. You know that it's urgent to get back up top, but usually when you press is when you get in those issues where you get in those wrecks. So he's had an up and down night tonight. He's riding 16th, and honestly, with the carnage that we've had around him, he could be sitting good right now in the points. So you got to keep that car intact.
Yeah, well, let's go back up front. We see Jacob Smith pulling a little bit of a gap on. Oh, I lied. Yeah, I looked at my relatives, and it looked like Dean Brummett was falling back a little bit, but Dean Brummett's still very much in his mirror, as you see him doing the Greg Wellen line as well, getting as close as he can to that wall and just peeling the car down off the turn and just getting as much of a run as he can. And
yeah, you see there, just seeing in that shot there, you see how much faster, Dean Brummett is in the center of the corner, but it's Jacob Smith who's pulling him off the corners where he's getting that gap. So that's kind of the difference right now between these guys. He pulls up to his bumper, but Jacob Smith with that clean air able to really pull away and really get that rear grip off the corner.
We'll see if he can keep it green here and see if get some tire wear and what happens after that. You got Timothy Latham right there in the mix too. These cars are right on top of one of each other, and we got a race on our hands, Byron.
Oh, absolutely. These guys will not let up. Jacob Smith right now in first. He's probably the most uncomfortable driver right now, because he has Dean Brummett and Timothy Latham breathing down his neck. And right here, we're going to go back to the Hornets nest. You see James Holtzer under pressure and putting pressure on Landon Lacey as well.
Yeah, there's a lot going on back here, a lot to digest. You see Fuji almost getting the Jordan Bain back there, but able to keep it off of him. That could have easily sent him to the inside wall. But good job. Oh, he gets into the outside wall. He's got a lot. He's got his hands full right now, but he's got to be sure to get back up to that high side. Otherwise, that 24 machine will fly right on by him.
Absolutely. And this is one of those tracks that you get in that wall and it kind of rattles you a little bit. It takes a couple laps to get back, but that's the problem as well. You don't have a couple laps to regain it because there's so many people right on top of you. So you make that one small mistake, it's very easy to find yourself 5 or 6 spots back.
Holtzer really working to try and clear that 7, but it's just not happening. You see him dive way down here. He's going to be able to slide up here, but Landon Lacey gets in the wall. He's going to do a crossover and try to clear him, and he does. Wow. Power move.
Yeah, you see James Holtzer there had to let off so much or else he was going to get to that wall. Kind of looked like Bristol dirt there for a second throwing that slide job, but unable to make it stick, and Landon Lacey making a crossover move.
That's how you got to do it, though. You got to take advantage of all the space they're leaving you on the bottom and really just send it in there on the turns. And James Holtzer doing it like the best of them. But right now, you see Jordan Bain. He's really having a handful back here with these drivers with fresher tires, it looks like. I know that one car is on fresh tires as he went down on the last caution, but you know, it's action packed right now. Right now, he got some action up towards the front for second as Dean Brummett's under fire from Timothy Latham. Excuse me.
Again, though, Timothy Latham, we've already seen him go. You know, this is already one full lap that we've seen him on the inside. You got to believe he's burning those tires up. He knows the importance. We saw James Holtzer try that slide job. You got to wonder if he's going to stay down here long enough that, you know, he puts that move on Dean Brummett and possibly makes it 6.
Yeah, Jacob Smith's got to be loving what he's seeing right now. So he's pulled off to about a 2-second lead. We don't even see him in the shot anymore. He is gone as Timothy Latham's still working. He's going to get that spot.
Yeah, you got to believe Dean may have let him go there and realizing that his teammate was getting away from him and really just let Latham go there and possibly sit behind him here and possibly learn a little bit more from Timothy Latham.
So right now our top 5 is going to be Jacob Smith, Timothy Latham, Dean Brummett, Scott Healy, and Damian Leininger. Right now that 5th place position is under attack. Mitch Rollo trying to take it from Damian Leininger in that 12 machine.
Absolutely. Damian Leininger with no nose still running here in the top 10, man. Big time wreck in the back. Big time wreck. A bunch of cars. And unfortunately, Shane Good coming to a slide there. Hopefully did not get enough damage there, but Brandon Key, the beautiful car, is all torn to pieces. Unfortunate for him.
Wow, that was a big one. That was the big one here at Bristol on lap 111. These guys did a great run there. They had about a 20 lap, I'd say 15, 20 lap green flag run there. Jacob Smith's going to hate seeing that as he was just pulling away from the 2nd and 3rd place cars. Let's go ahead and take a look at our 7th wreck replay of the night, brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia.
Absolutely.
Joseph Causey and Brandon Key getting into it, and just nowhere for Joshua Balia to go. And that just sends him around and nowhere for anybody to go after that. That's really unfortunate for all those cars.
Absolutely. And Brandon Key, one of those cars that is potentially on that cut line, depending on how the night goes. So he's going to find himself battling for that playoff spot with Shane Good if he's able to continue running tonight.
If we can go back a little further, it looked like that was Causey that just got loose, or he might have got a little help from Austin Reedy, or not too sure what happened there, but yeah, he was super loose, and Brandon Key just coming off of his mark there on the turn just ran right up into him so fast.
James Holtzer also involved in that as well. So our top 2 guys tonight in the point standing having a rough night, and if you have ambitions of winning that regular season championship, this is the night to take advantage with our 2 top guys in trouble.
So let's go ahead and have another look here. Go on board the 91 machine to Wreckage, see if he makes it through this chaos. See everybody start checking up. You don't see it until you're right there, and it's just, you know, you see those hands working. He gets into the 14 machine a little bit there, but not too bad. But man, that was a good bit of our field there that's going to be running with some significant damage. So I mean, these cars, they need to do their best to get it fixed and keep it going.
Here's Jake Rowell. He came into, I saw him coming into pretty much a slide and stop there. Looked like he got a little bit of damage on that nose, but to him, it's really just keeping his car running at this point.
Well, you saw it from his perspective there. You don't see anything until you're on the exit of 2, and it looked like he kind of second-guessed himself where to go, and he hit the 94 machine a little bit, but that 9 car has seen worse tonight.
Absolutely. You see Jacob Smith there still leading. Did he stay out or did he pit?
He pitted, yeah. They all pitted this time around.
All right, so everybody on fresh tires here. Latham coming out 2nd, Dean Brummett 4th, or 3rd, Scott Healy 4th, and Mitch Rollo 5th will be our top 5.
These are the cleanest cars you're going to find on track right now. As that was the big one here at Bristol. A good 8 to 10 cars involved in that. So we're going to see a lot of damaged cars, maybe some modified cars looking like out there, but see Jacob Smith going to take the outside line here with his teammate Scott Healy behind him.
Absolutely, and that's going to be a big advantage to Scott Healy trying to clear Latham. We saw these guys swap positions there on these last couple of restarts, depending on who's on the outside. Everybody on fresh tires. I expect Latham to push this car pretty hard here and try to take that lead and get that clean air.
Hey Byron, so man, that was a lot to digest, man. Because we're about to see the pace car peel off. Jacob Smith getting a good gap on Timothy Latham. Scott Healy, though, is going to not be able to clear that 5 machine.
Yeah, lucky for Latham, he was able to clear Healy there and get that outside lane. Get that run a little bit to Jacob Smith. He's going to look to the inside here.
Ooh.
Really throwing it up there. Jacob Smith kind of held him down a little bit. Latham's going to get a run to the outside with Healy on the outside.
Yeah, that really hurt Timothy Latham there. He had to really get into the brakes to avoid getting into our leader. Man, he's going to just about cut Dean Brummett off. It looked for a second he was going to really try to shut the door, but Brummett was there, and he's going to fall back to 4th here in a minute.
Again, we're putting emphasis on knowing that top line is king. As you saw, Latham just about put his whole car into the outside wall trying to get up there, but that just shows the importance of it. You see Mitch Rowell coming into the picture now. You got to wonder if Mitch Rowell wants to get up there and possibly keep him down there as well.
To imagine they're going to try and put Timothy Latham, a 2-time winner on the season, as far back as he can. So Mitch Rowell not going to cut him any breaks, and Timothy Latham going to really try to have to find a spot here to slide up.
Again, I believe, that first corner, he drove it in so hard, knowing how important it was trying to get by Jacob Smith, and unfortunately just gets stuck there and finds himself in 5th place.
He's going to be able to slide up in front of his teammate there in the 27 car, Gabriel Ellison. So able to find a spot on the track to settle in, but man, he lost a good 3 spots on that restart. You see our leaders here. Jacob Smith still leading. I think he's led every lap so far, and his teammate Scott Healy right behind him. Got another.
Absolutely. If you're Jacob Smith, that's the comfort of knowing that your teammates are behind you. If you are to get past, that's still your teammate, and it's still team points. So
we got a wreck on the backstretch here. Damian Leininger.
Leininger keeping it straight, though. Hopefully keep it green.
Oh, man. Oh, we got another wreck on the front stretch. Landon Lacey just got sent to the inside by Ted Wreckage. That's going to end Landon Lacey's night, I have to imagine. That's heavy, heavy damage. That was a big hit.
Wow, unfortunately for Lacey, you see there, he doesn't even have a cage like Leininger has. It's just straight radiator, so just shows the impact that he made on the inside wall. And yeah, like you said, I believe his night's probably done.
That was a busy lap. Whew, we saw a lot of action happening, a lot of cars getting pinched up on the inside wall, and we'll see what happens here on this wreck replay brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. Let's see what happened to Leininger first. Going to get a good run on this high line. He's going to be up to the high side of Jake Rowell. I'm not sure Jake knew he was there, or Damian a little bit too low. I think they just both met in the middle, and it stayed green after this. And that's when we saw all the action happening on the front stretch with Landon Lacey and Ted Wreckage.
Yeah, unfortunately, Damian Leininger, he does go to the back, but able to save his car a little bit there.
Let's see what happens here. Ted Wreckage is getting loose. Looks like he just got really loose off of turn 4 as he was trying to clear that 7 machine. And as we've seen, another innocent bystander, and that was a big hit there by the 7 car.
Unfortunately there. It looked like Ted Wreckage may have caught that wall. Yeah, he got loose, like you said. That back end just came around. We spoke about these cars being so aero sensitive, and looked like maybe that Lacey's car may have took some air off the spoiler of Ted Wreckage.
You see that tiny spoiler there running, definitely affecting the handling of these cars tonight. It always seems to happen when you have a car right on your inside and you're trying to clear somebody, and you're just running on cold tires, or get in the marbles. It could be anything, and it happens so fast here at Bristol. Nothing he could do about it. So unfortunate for Landon Lacey there, as Ted Wreckage gets into him and sends him into the inside wall. He's going to have significant damage to repair.
Absolutely, and unfortunately for him, his night's probably going to be done, and his playoff hopes may have taken a crash there for Landon Lacey. So he needed a great run tonight to possibly stay alive, and unfortunately for him, I think tonight may have put the nail in that coffin.
He just quit the session. So Landon Lacey is done for the night. So not sure if he has enough drops in his pocket to keep him in the standings where he's at right now. But with 2 races left to go at Martinsville and Richmond, it's going to be a hard feat to pull off and see if he can make the playoffs. Unfortunate for a 2-time winner this season.
Absolutely. And again, his season isn't necessarily over. He is very capable of coming out and getting 2 W's the next 2 weeks. So definitely very, very still much alive, but it's going to take a lot of effort for him to possibly bounce back from this wreck tonight.
So getting a few notes from our producer, Sean Griffith. He's telling me right now that Latham is currently the Clean Driver Award season leader so far. So he's doing a good job. You see it right there. He's showing it. The proof is on the pavement, and that car is as clean as it gets. You know, these top 4 or 5 cars is, you know, doing a good job of keeping it off the wall and keeping it off of other cars. And we only have 19 of them on the lead lap right now. So sure, we're going to see that number start dwindling down as the laps go on, but we're coming down to only about 70 to go here with the pace car. The lights off. We're going to go green and see if they can keep it green here for a good while.
Absolutely. You got to believe, you know, Latham saw what happened the last restart. It's going to be in the back of his mind. He's got to be a little bit more patient here and try to work his way to the front.
Jacob Smith, another good restart. He's going to be able to pull up in front of his teammate, Scott Healy. Dean Brummett's going to have his work cut out on the inside. He's going to try and slide up in front of Mitch Rollo. If he has it, he's going to need to do it right now, but he's going to go ahead and just take the better.
He's a nice driver. He's nice. He's definitely nice.
Oh, yeah. David Duke involved in this one. Ted Reckage as well back there. Cautions, just precautions here. It's short track racing. And as the time goes and we're getting closer to that checkered flag, I just, you know, people are starting to feel like they're running out of time. And we're going to see some hard driving here. And I'm sure that's what we're going to see on this 9th caution of the night. So we're just going to look at this rec replay, see exactly what happened here. See him on the inside of Jake Rowell. Jake getting a good run. Looks like Fuji came up into Jake. Yeah, the 14 kind of pinching Jake, and Jake having nowhere to go. And just another innocent bystander, as I keep saying, in that 78 Tennessee Vols machine. David Duke, no front end anymore. Yeah, you're going to see it here. That 14 car is just going to come up and pinch Jake as he has a good run and shove Jake down into David Duke. So, real unfortunate to see there.
Yeah, Jake's had a rough night, but you see there, he's still able to see the leaders, which is saying a lot here at Bristol. Just unfortunate, just keeps finding this bad luck right now, but hopefully we can get it turned around.
Yeah, you have to imagine the 14 thought he was clear. I'm sure the spotter did not tell him that Jake had a good run on the high side, or if he did, it was too late. That wall just shoots you down whenever you hit it, whether you're getting help from somebody else or you just accidentally hit it. Like you said, it just jars you, and at that point you're hoping that no one's around you because they're just going to get caught up in it. And like you said, that's a tough break for the 78 machine there.
Absolutely, but Jacob Smith right now continuing to lead this race, has not given up the lead all night. So looking good so far. You got to believe that these guys got something to thank for them, though.
Yeah, I'm curious to go through the top 10 and see how many of them have front ends. But yeah, right now, let's go ahead and take a run through the order if we can. We see Jacob Smith there, like you said, he's leading the way. I think he's led every lap today. So Scott Healy having a great race tonight as well in that 64 machine in second. And Dean Brummett, your pick, there in third.
Absolutely. Miss Rollo right now riding fourth with Timothy Latham there behind him in fifth. James Holtzer, who we've seen caught up in a couple of wrecks, you see is a little bit damaged there, but keeping it going there in sixth. And then you got Gabriel Ellison in seventh with Austin Reedy falling behind him in eighth.
Smassy, there's one of those cars with no front end. He's doing a great job having a 9th place run tonight, still looking good. And then Joshua Balliet quietly in the top 10 tonight in that 74 car running for Tank Racing. So that's a run through our top 10 so far tonight as we see the pace car lights about to go off, and these guys are going to go 2 by 2 again to try to get this thing restarted.
Absolutely. If you got a running car tonight, man, you got a good chance of getting the top 10, seeing the carnage these guys have. And but, you know, you keep that car running, as you see there with Dave Hughes not even having a hood or a front end, but still riding 11th right now, so he's fighting.
Yeah, well, your pick is looking pretty good, sitting there pretty in third. He's going to have his work cut out, though, to get back up on that high line and not let Scott Healy and Jacob Smith get too far out in front. But, man, he's got some heavy hitters there on the outside line with Mitch Rollo, James Holtzer, and Austin Reedy to boot. So we're going to see the pace car peel off here, and Jacob Smith going to need to get another good restart, and he does, like he's done every time tonight. Gets a good 2-3 car gap. Scott Healy is going to try to stay in front of that 25 machine. He's going to let...
Yeah, he let him in. And you see there, it's build up.
Yeah,
Didn't do too well. Gets contacted.
Oh, big wreck. Yeah. Wow, that was just about every car that got involved there. And we see some engines blowing too, and that is not good.
Yeah, unfortunately there it looked like Scott Healy let up to possibly let Dean Brummett up. And that just caused an accordion effect, which entailed took out Timothy Latham.
That is exactly what it looked like. It looked like he saw his teammate, Dean Brummett, potentially trying to pull a slide job off, and he was going to let him in. And the whole field doesn't know since, we got team Discord channels, so it's just these guys. But yeah, Scott Healy trying to reset himself there, got into the wall, and unfortunately shot him down like we saw. And he got into the 5, and the 5 tried his best to save it, turned right up into the traffic.
I don't know a car that did not get a source of damage outside of the top 2.
Yeah, I think we jinxed that 5 car. We just talked about him being the clean driver award on the season and how that car was looking so far.
Literally every car that drove through there got some damage.
Man. Yeah, heavy damage. Let's go ahead and see how Jake Rowell in the 9 car, how he gets through here. See him running the high line like everybody is. We're about 10th place, and you see carnage and nowhere to go, but it's still a great job to not get caught up in it too bad. He sent the 27 around, but literally had nowhere to go on track.
His engine guys at the shop right now are sweating bullets because he's hit that front end so many times tonight, but currently in 4th right now, getting through that wreck, so we'll see if they will do anything with it.
Well, currently the top 4 is all RSR cars, I believe. We'll have to see how it unfolds after pits. Oh, yeah. So I think we had somebody stay out, maybe. Yeah, I believe that 23 car stayed out, so that's going to shake it up a little bit. But yeah, they're all going to be up there towards the front right now. And I have to imagine, like I said, we have a team championship on the line, and we're over halfway through the season. And Filthy 5 Motorsports, who's been closing the gap on them, is definitely taking note of this right now and realizing that they need to get it going, even though they have some cars that are no longer in the field. We saw Landon Lacey out of the field. Look at this. This is currently the 3rd place car running in order right now. So Shane Good
getting their money's worth this week. I think they need some raises back at the RSR shop. They're putting these cars back together.
It's a cool looking car for Jake Rowell this week. You're used to seeing him in the Raya Mountain Dew machine. He's got a little bit of looks like a fish on the side there. So it's outdoor season, and that's a cool looking car.
Yeah, these guys are dealing with some damage, but again, we spoke on it. Currently riding in 2nd. So having a good run right now, but you got to believe those cars that came down got some tires. The Dean Brummett's the world sitting back there in 5th place. He's going to be making his way up to the front here pretty quick.
Yeah. If they can get a good green run, Dean Brummett's licking his chops right now. So Jacob Smith, I'm sure he is hoping for more cautions, as Dean Brummett's going to definitely have the faster tires at the moment.
Yeah, and you got to wonder the call there with them being teammates. That if one of them came, you thought the other one might, but they got RSR up here up front. We're going to see if these guys can hold it up here with these 2 cars that got the damage.
Yeah, I have to imagine Jake and Shane are just really taking the track position pull here. I think they can make it on fuel, but Dean Brummett, knowing that his teammate Jacob Smith stayed out, he went down and got some fresh tires, and Jake's going to need to get going here. As Dean Brummett, if he can make it up on the high side, he's going to be picking up some spots. Oh, wow. Shane Good looks like he got into the back of his teammate Jake Rowell there, and that kind of sent him back. But RSR all in the top 5. Each one of those top 5 cars, all Rowell Smith Racing.
Yeah, you've seen Dean Brummett on the inside trying to get clear of his teammate Scott Haley, but Jacob Smith able to pull away from these guys with his 2 cars back there battling.
He's getting to a good start right now, though. We're seeing a bunch of these cars with some damage. It looks like Brandon Key able to get his nose back on the car. Nope, I lied. It's not there. Looks like Joseph Causey getting really loose as well, so it's getting crazy.
I don't know how some of these cars are going to pass post-race inspection. I just don't see it. There's measurements are out, but Brandon Key right now running 6th with no front nose. That just shows the skill he has right now, and he's actually doing pretty well and kind of holding on to James Holtzer here.
And he finishers if they actually really enforce those post-race inspection quotas. So they might let it a little bit slide tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're having a great battle here. James Holtzer looks to the inside. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum there, allowing Causey to get to his inside. We're going to see if he's able to make this pass.
Causey's been strong. We saw him make his debut last week at Atlanta, and he definitely ran up towards the front, but had some trouble tonight. He is going to be having his hands full trying to clear James Holtzer here, who's currently second place on the season in the individual standings.
Yeah, we see Jake Rowell there, who stayed out that last caution with the old tires and that damage. We see Brandon Key get a little loose there. This just shows how difficult it is to pass here. Jake Rowell has all the damage and the tires to stay out, and yet these guys are still struggling to make that pass on the inside.
Well, let's go back up to the front, because I have to imagine Dean Brummett is knocking on the door of Jacob Smith. He is there. He got up to second after restarting fifth, and he is going to be up to his bumper here within a couple laps.
Absolutely. And Dean Brummett wants to see this thing go green the rest of the way. You definitely don't want to see that caution once you get that lead, because then you're just set sitting duck. So we saw that there for the Xfinity race on Thursday, and hoping that his luck turns around and can get this win.
Some tight racing back here. Looks like Dave Fuji Jr. having his hands full with the 75 car. Brandon Key, they're starting to stack the field up behind them, but yeah, right now our leaders pulling away from the field.
Yeah, Dean Brummett able to just keep the pressure on him. And again, you see Brandon Key here on the inside of Dave Fuse. Got to get back to that top and make that pass on the top with Gabriel Ellison on the outside. I just believe with that damage that Brandon Key has, his only bet to keep up that track position is to stay up top and really force cars to try to go around him on the inside. Rick Rowell pulled loose.
Wow.
And luckily able to save it.
Yeah, great save there. It just shows you this is getting real tight back here. We got a lot of cars that have bumpers and running a little bit faster than these other cars, and it's just it's absolute chaos back here.
Absolutely. And again, to speak on it, like Jake Rowell there, staying up top, making these guys go around them on the inside. And yeah, that's going to stack the field up a little bit, but what you're hoping is that these guys just burn their tires up and that you guys are the same speed as Dave Fuse gets a little bump and run there from Jake Rowell, able to hold on to it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It might have been a little bit of a message there. He kind of shoved him into the turn. Well, Jake is hitting him again there, so yeah, I'm not sure what's happening here, but that's ultimately hurting Jake as he's falling back so far.
Yeah, and again, we spoke on it. He's locked into the playoffs, so yes, this is... Oh, he gets to the outside wall and turns Brandon Key. And unfortunately, it's going to stack the field up behind him, and the yellow's going to come back out.
Nowhere for Chris Massey to go there. Man, they were really racing hard. Wow. Just carnage, wrecked cars everywhere. Yeah, it looked like definitely like the 9 car got into the wall there exiting 4. And that shoved him down into Brandon Key. Brandon Key, just another innocent bystander. I keep saying that's, oh, yeah. Oh, that's the wrong wrecked replay. We're going to go ahead and get the, there we go. Yeah, we're going to see them come off of 4, and Jake's going to get kind of up into the wall. It's a little tight. Yeah, just that wall just shoots you right down. Not much Jake can do there. I mean, like a lot of people like to say, just turn right into the wall to keep it up there, but even then, it's still going to shoot you down the track.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Brandon Key, who was having a good run and really found himself in this position due to find himself on the inside earlier in this run, but unfortunately, looks like his race is going to come to an end.
Yeah, good job by Jordan Bain there to get by. See, he was right behind that. If we could take an onboard of his car, he had that happen right in front of him, but he had to see Jake getting a little tight, pushing up. So he's going to see it happen. He's going to go down to the inside and just make it look easy here.
Again, even from that view, you see, Rowell barely got into that wall. Just unfortunate that it kicked him out like that. And like you said earlier, Brandon Key was just collateral damage there in that wreck.
Hopefully Brandon Key able to keep that car going. Because right now we've got about, it looks like 15 cars on the lead lap. So you bring that car home and cross the finish line on the lead lap, you're going to get a top 15, which, after tonight is not too shabby. here. You're
Latham stayed out, so here we go. We're going to see what happens. We spoke about the pit strategy and the possible difference here. Latham's getting that clean air, and we're going to see what he's able to do with it.
This could pay dividends if they have trouble keeping this race green. He could have the track position to win it right now with only 40 laps to go. Yeah, we've seen it happen previously in the races early on in the week. You know, we had some people stay out, and that ultimately put them in position to win it because, you know, we had trouble keeping it green. So we'll have to see, as Dean Brummett looks like he's going to be right behind him with a very clean car. So not sure if Latham's going to be able to hold him off for too long here.
Yeah, I think Latham takes the top here and forces these cars again to go out on the bottom and really just roll the dice and see what happens. You know, his car's damaged, and I mean, what else do you have to lose if you can get this track position and possibly catch some cautions and get you a top 10 here?
See our pole sitter, Jacob Smith, he's back there in third now. This is really the first time all night that he's not been out in front, so he's going to be having his first experience running into traffic with his teammate Scott Healy just to his outside. So, you know, some things unfolding here, changing it up a little bit, and this could be a factor because Timothy Latham probably saw how dominant RSR was right now, and he's trying to get as many points as he can.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't like the call of him starting on the inside. I think that just gives Dean Brummett an advantage here if he's able to get a good start here, so we'll see.
All right, yeah, we'll see how he does on these old tires here. He's going to get not a very good start. We saw him spin the tires, and that's going to put Dean Brummett out in front. Jacob Smith's going to be able to pass him on the outside too. Scott Healy, they're 3 wide. Latham is in trouble.
Yeah, Latham there just does not have the engine power that he had before the damage there. You saw that as he dropped 6 spots there in the first lap. But Dean Brummett gets the clean air that he's been waiting for all night. We're going to see if Jacob Smith, who's led every lap up until now, has anything for him.
And I'm excited to see how this unfolds, see if we get a little bump and run at the end of this, because that's the only way I see Jacob Smith getting past Dean Brummett. This is his place to race. He's been excited to run here all week. He ran in the Xfinity Series to get a little more action, and he's worked all night to try and get past Jacob Smith. And right now, he's got it going, and he's ahead of him at first. But yeah, Timothy Latham dropping like a rock. He's going to be back outside the top 10.
Yeah, unfortunately there that front nose damage is acting like an anchor and just pulled him back to the field, man. Unfortunately, as Dave Fugier's will look the inside of him, just got to believe he's got to be frustrated in that car right now.
Yeah, so he's falling back to 10th here. If Dave Fugie Jr. can clear him, he's going to try and send it on the inside. Timothy Latham not wanting to lose any more spots. Ooh, it's going to get tight there. He's going to be able to clear him, and Dave Fugie is going to have to slide up behind and ride for a little bit.
Absolutely. Speak on it again, you know, it's just so difficult to pass on the inside as you see Dean Brummett here under pressure by Jacob Smith.
Bumper to bumper here.
Jacob Smith got a little loose there coming out of that last corner, but able to continue the momentum and pull up to his bumper here. You got to wonder if that's going to put a little bit of pressure on Dean Brummett, but I think Dean Brummett, this is his track. He loves this place. There's no pressure there, knowing that's his teammate, but Jacob Smith wants that win just as bad as Dean Brummett does. I can believe that.
Crazy to see how high Dean is running. I want to go ahead and ask Sean, our producer, if we can go ahead and take an on board with Jacob Smith running in second right now to kind of see how he is trying to decipher where to pass Dean Brummett.
Absolutely. You see the lap car come in the picture now, so they're both going to go high, but you got to believe that he's going to try to time this to where Jake Rowell, his teammate, there.
Try and go on the inside here.
He's running that low line, seeing he's trying to get that little clean air there. Gives a run on the inside. Let's see if he makes a move.
Wow, and he's going to clear him. He's clearing Dean on the inside, and he has got the lead as we see someone spinning in front of him, it looked like. Whoa. Woo. That is not what you want to see when you just made a pass for the lead on. Yeah,
that's you though, for Jacob Smith. He made the pass before the yellow. So,
we're going to go ahead and try to figure out who that was spinning on the inside right in front of our leaders. We see Brandon Key slow on the inside, so it might have been him. Another case of maybe he hit the wall and it just sent him to the inside. We'll have to find out from this rec replay brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. And Jordan Sailors and Brandon Key here. Oh, he just blew his engine. Yeah, he just blew his engine right in front of Jordan Sailors. And no indication of that for that 55 machine. He just runs right through him and sends him to the inside. But man, that could have easily just happened right in front of our leaders as they were on the same front stretch.
Yeah, unfortunately there, blows the engine, but hats off to him, man. He's been running good all night and just unfortunately caught up in a couple of wrecks, but all in all had a solid night until this happened.
Is he going backwards on the pit road right now? So yeah, that just shows the night that Brandon Key has had, and unfortunately that car is expired. It is no longer running. So unfortunate for Brandon Key in that 75 machine. But yeah, right before that happened, man, Jacob Smith made a power move. I'm not sure if we can get a replay of that. That was a heck of a pass on our current leader, or the leader before, Dean Brummett, who, you know, is your pick and probably the odds-on favorite here at Bristol. So that was a heck of a move by the 11 machine, trying to get that first win on the season.
Absolutely. Like you said, a power move to the inside. As you're going to see here, he's going to get this run on the inside, just really make a strong move and just be aggressive with it.
Yeah, it might have been, I'm not sure. He just had a heck of a run off the inside. He's able to pull side by side to Dean Brummett, and he's just going to have to glide right in front of him. Dean might have let him go a little bit there. But that's pretty surprising, as we're only down to 26 laps to go in the race. That is not long at all.
Oh, no, not here at Bristol. Those will click off pretty quick, but you got to believe that Dean Brummett's going to reset here and see what he needs to do. Again, you got to remember this is his teammate, so he's not going to push it too hard, knowing that those team points are so important with Jake Rowell having the night that he's having. So you may think that he may sacrifice that win for possibly those team points.
So heck of a move there by the 11 machine, trying to get that first win, like I said, of the season. But Dean Brummett also trying to go for that first Cup Series win. He's had a few Xfinity races there. He's been dominant, but not yet to get that Cup win so far. And this is his place that he wants to do it. So quite curious to know his thought process there, as he clearly just eased off going into 3 and let Jake slide up in front of him. It looked like it was kind of an orchestrated thing.
Absolutely here, but like you said, 25 to go. Jacob Smith's pretty much dominated this race the entire night, but got 2 of his teammates behind him, so you got to wonder just how nervous he is, knowing that, you know, he has that cushion behind him, but also knowing that those 2 want those wins just as bad as he does.
Actually looking at my relative, and it kind of makes a little sense right now. Dean Brummett took 2 tires on that previous pit stop, so he's probably a little bit tighter than Jacob Smith is, and he knows it. So he probably saw the run that Jacob had and just let him go, like you said.
Again, that pit strategy, we're going to see if it pays off. The 2 strategy call, you know, I spoke early in the race that every time I hit pit road, I'm taking 4, but we're going to see if it's going to pay off for Dean Brummett as Jacob Smith takes the lead and going to lead us back to the green flag.
You got to do what you can do, because like I said, track position seems like to be the key right now if we're running cautions consistently here at the end. But Jacob Smith going to do his best to get a good restart this time, and he's going to do it. And you see Dean Brummett spin the tires, and it stacks everybody up.
Dean Brummett spun the tires, he puts the inside wall. It's all over.
Unfortunate. Like I said, he just took 2 tires that previous pit stop, and that plays a big factor.
Unfortunately, they got into his teammate Scott Healy as well. You got to wonder how much damage that car took on.
Well, that's our 13th caution of the night. Let's go ahead and check the wreck replay. You saw it there on the restart, but let's get a closer look. Brought to us by Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia. Check them out on Shopify. Yeah, you're going to see his car just shoot to the left and then kind of get up into the wall, and Austin Reedy just has nowhere to go and pitches his quarter panel. And unfortunately for Austin Reedy, he gets a big part of that mess as well and loses all that track position that he had gained running in 4th. And unfortunate to see for everybody there. That's a big shake-up in this field.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, that's part of racing. You know, you got these old tires, and you see there he's fighting the wheel, but unfortunately when he gathered it back up, it was just a little bit too late for Dean Brummett. And that's the risk we spoke of, taking 2 tires. So hopefully able to get that car back out in front. I know he won't get the finish that he was hoping for, and all in all, I know Dean Brummett in that cockpit right now at this point.
He's going to go get those 4 fresh tires now, especially after feeling how they were on that restart. I've been there before, and it is not a good feeling, man, because you got all these cars on fresh tires behind you that are gripping up, and they are moving on that restart. And this is such a narrow track that Austin Reedy tried his best to get by him and just really had no room with the car on the inside of him as well. And Yeah, a tough night for them.
Absolutely, but this race now opens up with Jacob Smith, who's been led the majority of the race tonight. But now, Dean really been his only competition so far tonight. Timothy Latham was early as well, but he got into the wreck. But don't look now, but James Holtzer there, sitting in third, possible chance to get this win. He's had an up and down night tonight, then to the back, then to the front. See the damage there a little bit there, but has no spoiler. I don't know if that's legal, but, hey, he's moving around here pretty quick.
Yeah, you said Scott Healy got caught up into it too, but it looks like he was able to come out on the good side of it. His car is still pretty clean for the most part, but that's gonna go ahead. He's got a little bit of damage there on the left front, looks like, so in the right front, just in the front in general. But yeah, RSR is starting to take a hit after we saw all 5 cars running in the top 5 at one point in the race. Yeah, still got 3 in the top 6 with Shane Good sitting there in 6th place, but they had a perfect night going for them, and it's all gone to the wayside now as we're starting to see a lot of chaos unfold.
Absolutely. You pointed it out. You see, like you said, Shane Good there in 6th, man. What a run. He started out right now early in the race. He was in the back of the pack, not knowing what was going on with him. Got caught up in the wreck, has no front bumper, but yet still finds himself in 6th. These are the type of races that lead to championships. It may not be this year, but these are the type of races that get you into the playoffs and gives you a chance. He could have easily hung it up, 30, 40 laps ago, but he knows how important every point matters, and he's going to come away with a 6th, maybe a top 10 finish, and possibly find himself above the cut line next week.
Well, I'm sure all these cars saw what happened to that 75 machine as he blew his engine with that front end damage. They have to really pay attention to that water temp on their dash to make sure that they are not flashing red, because they might fall to the same demise as we saw Brandon Key. But yeah, a lot of damaged cars back there right now. But you see that 99 machine right there creeping up towards the front. We got some newcomers heading up, but Jacob Smith's going to try and get a big lead here as he's done each time, and gets a decent restart, but everyone's able to hang in front or hang with him, and Holtzer's going to have a good run to the inside and maybe potentially try and clear him for the lead. Holtzer trying to get that first win of the season.
Absolutely. Oh. Haley there spun his tires a little bit, but you saw the run he got there on the outside. James Holtzer sliding up, but Scott Healy has that speed to the inside looking for the run.
This is some hard racing right now. I have to imagine this thing might not stay green for very long, and these two are battling, but Jacob Smith loving what he's seeing. He's going to start stretching that gap out.
Absolutely. Spoke of Cossey there. He's kind of stuck behind these two. Looks to be the faster of the 3 cars, but, he's stuck behind James Holtzer right now on the high side. He gets clear of Scott Healy, which is huge, because I think he has the car to possibly go up there and challenge Jacob Smith.
Definitely. He's going to have to try and work really hard to get by Holtzer. He's going to have to do it on the inside here, not running that high line. Like you said, we only got 14 laps to go, and we run 15-second lap times. That's what, about 3?
Oh, he gets
into Holtzer. Yeah.
Holtzer goes around, unable to save it. We're going to have a yellow flag.
Man. Holtzer is really not going to be happy with that after it looked like Causey just washed up into him a little bit. Trying to get as high a run as he could into turns while passing him on the inside. That's another way you can do it, running that middle lane, but it just looked like he got a little tight running in that air.
Absolutely, and it's so difficult. You're trying to make that run to the inside stick, but that's the one thing that the car wants to do is float up the track, and unfortunately, James Holtzer was there and was the collateral damage of that wreck.
So this is our 14th caution of the night, and like we said, or it looked like netcode. Yeah, another netcode error here. For those that don't know, netcode is when iRacing registers as these 2 cars hitting each other, but realistically, they were not touching one another, and that just sends Holtzer around. Yeah, that was a really, really bad netcode there. You see, he's still got a good foot from when Causey was in the inside of him, and unfortunately for Holtzer, he's going to get the bad end of the stick there, but luckily everybody else able to stay off of him there as they were spinning through the turn. I'm sure they're going to have to go back and look at that one. I'm sure Causey is telling him, I did not touch you, but Holtzer probably has a different idea of that. But it looks like we're going to have some people coming down pit road here, but our leader, Jacob Smith, going to stay out and keep that track position.
Yeah, and unfortunately, in the car, you can't tell it's netcode. It feels like, you got hit from the left rear, and instant reaction there is to call it out. But hopefully you get to look at that and realize that it was just netcode and just an unfortunate situation. But I also want to point out here that Greg Welland, sitting in 3rd place, We spoke of him having a great run, usually starting up front and kind of fading towards the end, but quite the opposite tonight. Started mid-pack and now working his way up to the front and finds himself in third.
Only representative out here for H2K tonight, having a really good run in that 94 machine. He's ready for baseball season. You can see the pinstripes and the Cardinals logo. He's ready to go as opening week is upon us, and I'm sure he's going to be paying attention to that a lot this week, but he's going to be having a lot more fun if he gets a top 3 finish also.
Absolutely. You see Scott Healy there in fourth. Don't count him out just yet, getting to start on that outside line. You got to believe with him being on the outside that Jacob Smith will take that top line as well in this restart and hopefully get a run and try to hold off Causey there, because he's there in second. And like I said, I believe he has the cleanest car and the best car to possibly go up here and challenge Jacob Smith.
Yeah, I disagree with you. I think the best option right now to dethrone Jacob Smith from the lead is that second place car of Joseph Causey. We've seen him climb through the field, and that car is not too bad himself. I mean, he's got a little bit of damage on the rear there, but I mean, that's not going to affect him too much here, and he's going to have a good look at Jacob Smith as he's taking the inside. It looks like Jacob's going to restart on the outside this time with his teammate right behind him.
Absolutely, and this is the restarts of all restarts. He's gotten jump after jump on these guys. This is the one restart that, if this thing stays green, this is going to win or lose this race for Jacob Smith, and I believe he's up on that wheel right now and ready to go. 28
machine of Jordan Bain back there, another one of those clean cars. He could potentially get up here and spoil some things too if he can pick up some more spots here. And Dean Brummett also sitting back there in the 8th spot after getting into a little bit of trouble on that restart, so he's made his way back up here as well. But we're going to see the pace car peel off, and Jacob is going to get a good restart here on the high line, and Scott Healy's going to be to the high side of Joseph Causey. Causey unable to move up.
Yeah, Causey's got to get clear here as quickly as possible to try to go up there and get Jacob Smith, but unfortunately for him, Scott Healy's going to get clear. Possibly he's going to get that run on the inside. Yeah, he's going to get clear of him on the front stretch. And here we go.
Yeah, really tight there between the 99 and the 64 machine there. But yeah, we're seeing some good racing to start on this restart. A lot of tight racing, but yes, Shane Good moving back a little bit as Dean Brummett's going to be able to clear him and move up to 6th, and he's going to be trying to work on Jordan Bain to get up back into the top 5 and try to salvage somewhat of a good night after wrecking from the front row on that restart.
Absolutely, and that's so frustrating, but he's focused. He got 5 laps to go, now 4. So here we go. With 5 laps to go, Dean Brummett's trying to make his way back up to the front.
On that 28 machine, but he's going to have to really work to get on that inside line and make that pass. He's going to probably cause some trouble right now as Jordan Bain's on the bumper of Greg Wellen, so really no room for Dean Brummett to make the pass on the inside and slide up. But before we know it, we're going to be done with this race if it stays green. Jacob Smith coming back to the stripe for 3 laps to go.
Absolutely, and it's all been about the 11 tonight. Dean Brummett led here and there, but all in all, it's been the Jacob Smith show, and he's put on a show for sure with 3 laps to go. And he's really been untouchable outside of a few mishaps here and there, and maybe a few pit stops, but seeing that 11 car out front tonight, most of the night.
It's a risky move here for Jordan Bain, trying to make that pass on the inside. It's going to set up Dean Brummett to potentially make a move, but yeah, Dean Brummett forced to the inside here. He's really wanting to pick up one more spot to potentially finish 4th, but we're under the white flag here as Jacob Smith crosses the stripe, and he's 10 seconds away from winning this thing, man.
Absolutely. I promise you, Jacob Smith is not one to see a flag until that white flag, and he's going to come around, take this checkered flag, and Jacob Smith is going to win the Rocky Top 200, and Scott Healy's going to come in a close second as Causey tried to make a run there on the inside, but he's going to come away 3rd.
Race there, hard battles at the end there. They were trying to pick up one more spot. They were side by side crossing the stripe, but it's really good to see Jacob Smith pull off the W in such dominating fashion. He is one of the best drivers in the league, just had really bad luck, and he made it happen here tonight, and he led just about every lap, man.
Absolutely, and a well-deserved burnout, man. He absolutely dominated. Never really was challenged outside of Dean Brummett on a pit strategy there with 2 tires, but all in all, got back out front, and he earned himself that win sticker tonight.
You're going to see his teammates celebrating out there with him. RSR having a really good night, like you said. I think we had, what was it, 4 in the top 7. So
I don't know how
great night.
Burnouts right now with that engine damage, man. But hats off to this team, man. It's always fun celebrating with your teammates. As we say at Rev, if one of our teammates wins, we all win. So Jacob Smith burning it down with his teammates, man.
Definitely, and definitely the night that RSR was looking for after they saw the troubles that Filthy Five Motorsports was having, with Landon Lacey getting caught up in a lot of accidents and Brandon Browning falling a lap down early on. It really set them up to really stretch the gap on the team standings, and we'll see that next week in our pre-show. They're probably going to have a nice, healthy gap. So let's go ahead and check the race results here. And as you see, Jacob Smith, our winner there, and Sky Healy, a great run by him, finishing second after I believe he had a top 3 last week. Joseph Causey, he brought it home in third for Tank Racing in that 99 machine. Greg Wellen finishing fourth for H2k Motorsports, and Jordan Bain having that top 5 for Red Racing in that 28 car.
Dean Brummett coming home in 6th for RSR. That's not the finish that he wants. Ran up front majority of the night, just unfortunate there on the restart. Shane Good, again, spoke of him. Came into this race 4 points behind the cutoff. I got to believe he's back in it for Rowell Smith Racing there in 7th. Gabriel Ellison, great run for Filthy Five Motorsports in 8th. Austin Reedy for Bronco Motorsports in 9th. And Kyle Spees for Filthy Five coming home in 10th.
Yeah, James Holtzer there sitting in 11th. His second time outside the top 10 all season. Dave Fuji Jr. coming home in 12th as an independent. Not too bad. And then Timothy Latham in 13th. We saw him fall through the field like a rock after starting on the front row with those old tires and all that damage. So not the night that he wanted to have by any means. Ted Wreckage coming home 14th. And Jake Rowell 15th.
Jordan Saylor's there in 16th for R&D Motorsports. Chris Massey for Bronco Motorsports in 17th. Brandon Browning in 18th for Filthy Five. Scott Colal for Team SRN in 19th. And Damian Leininger comes home in 20th for Red Racing.
Well, let's go ahead and bring up our third place finisher, Joseph Causey, running out of Tank Racing. Only his second week in Speed Racing Network. Had a good showing last week in Atlanta and bringing it home third. Joseph, tell us how you're feeling right now.
Feels pretty good. I would have loved to got second, but then it didn't have enough ponies there at the end or enough grip to make it happen.
Well, Joseph, you had a great run tonight. We saw a lot of wrecks, but, you were able to get your car back out front there without a spoiler. I don't know if you noticed that, but just kind of describe your night tonight and coming home in third and what it took to get there tonight.
Keeping the car as clean as possible, to be honest, and not get engine damage. And trying to, that when I took tires on that last time we went on caution, and I went from 8th to 4th on just that one restart. That was huge, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, it's only your second week here with Speed Racing Network, and like I said, we saw you running up towards the front last week, and obviously running up towards the front tonight. Is this something that we can continue to see here as the season unfolds?
Hopefully so. I know the 42 was mad at me. From what I've seen, it was netcode. Hopefully. It's Bristol. What do you I know he was mad. I probably would be too, but stuff happens in Bristol.
We took a look at it on the rec replay. It was definitely netcode, so nothing you could do there. But before we let you go, is there anybody that you want to go ahead and thank or give a shout out to?
Yes, I'd like to thank Hammer Down Motorsports, Tank Team Racing, Endeavor Zimmerman, get me on board with them. SimRacingMerch.com, Sim Speed Shop, JZ, iRacing Photos, Hooters, Common Sense Supplements, Fuel, Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation, and Invader Sim Multimedia Shop.
Way to get them all in there, man, and we expect to be seeing you up here more as you've been running really good on the season. So congrats on a good finish tonight, Joseph.
I appreciate it.
All right, well, there you go. You heard it. That was only his second race in SRN, and he's having a good showing so far. But let's go ahead and bring in our second place finisher, who's been having a really good run to the latest part of the season, Scott Healy for Rowell Smith Racing, having another top 3 finish, coming home in second behind his teammates tonight. Scott, tell us how you're feeling.
Oh, I'm feeling pretty damn good right now. That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah, well,
RSR, you got 4 of your guys. Oh, well, all 5 in the top 15 tonight. Kind of speak to that. And, I had an interesting question for you guys at RSR. With Shane Good outside the cut. How much work have you guys put in with him this week?
We put a lot of work this week. I mean, we did endless practice all week. We also just hung out, try to, get our mental status correct for the race. We played different games. We tried to do different strategies in the practice sessions. All in all together, we all came together and practiced for the whole week in general. So my team can't even talk right now, so I apologize. My team did a very good job, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like your second top 3 in the last 2 or 3 weeks, and your 4th top 5 out of the last 4 weeks. So we're starting to see you come on strong here. Are we going to see you break over and get that top spot here in the coming weeks? How are these tracks looking coming up on the schedule?
I'm not very good at short tracks. I'm very surprised that I came in second today. So Phoenix and short tracks aren't my thing. Mile and a halves are usually my strongest points. But no, I'm gonna keep trying, keep getting top 5s. Hopefully be up in the point standings by the playoffs.
Yeah, man, we love talking to you up here, and we're glad to see you doing so well. And we expect to keep talking to you in the booth in the coming weeks, man. Keep it up. And is there anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
I want to give a shout out to you guys. You guys do an amazing job as every single week. TikTok, Quikrete, my family, friends, my teammates, Shane, Jacob, Jake, Dean. We all do a fantastic job week in and week out. So I want to take a thank you to all of them.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on a second place finish, and go ahead and celebrate with the teammates, man. You guys deserve it tonight. So take care, buddy.
Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Well, you heard it there. That was the first of 2 that finished in the top 3 for RSR. Let's go ahead and bring in the winner tonight. His first win of the season. We're going to go ahead and bring Jacob Smith up. And Jacob, this is your first top 10, let alone your first win of the season. Your first top 10 since Daytona, man. You got to be feeling so excited. Tell us what you're feeling right now, bud.
Dude, I'm so excited. I needed that so bad to stay in the playoffs, and I was kind of a magnet the past couple weeks for Rex, and this is the first time I've been able to stay in clean air. Bristol's one of my favorite tracks, so it ended up working out really well.
Absolutely. Great job tonight, Jake. You pretty much led wire to wire. Tell us your thoughts, just on, your team in general. You got 5 guys in the top 15 again. You came in here with a little bit over 100-point lead in the point standings. What can this do for you, not only you, but your team headed this much closer to the playoffs?
Well, I think it got me and Shane pretty deep into the playoffs now. I think we both needed that really bad. I mean, at one point we were all running top 5, which I don't really think you can ask for anything better as far as a team goes. That was just, I think that was about as perfect as we could have gotten it, all things considering. It's a crazy track, but there's a lot of wrecks on it, and I think we just did really well tonight.
Well, you mentioned, you were a bit of a magnet to the wrecks earlier on in the season, and now it seems like you've gotten it going as you led 185 of the 200 laps tonight. Is this something that we can expect to see moving forward? As we know, we got 2 more short tracks coming up, and then the playoffs. Are we going to see a new Jacob Smith emerging?
I hope so. I mean, Bristol I love because you can kind of drive it like a road course, which is really what I like, but Martinsville and Richmond will be those will be some battles. So I'm hoping to stay out front again, because that was really what I needed.
Well, before we let you go, do you want to give anybody a shout out?
Yeah, we got all the guys back at RSR. We had a hell of a week this week. We did quite a bit of practice together, and yeah, we were killing it back there. Had a fast car all night on the long run, and the boys back at the shop did a good job.
Well, man, we're excited to see you celebrating with your team, and you deserve this one more than anybody out there tonight. Like I said, led 185 of the laps. You absolutely dominated, man. So go have fun with the team, and we hope to see you up here in the coming weeks. You had a rough start to the season, but you pulled it out tonight.
Awesome, thanks guys so much. Yeah, I have a couple of my favorite tracks coming up for the playoffs, so I'm hoping to stay in for that, and hopefully we'll be back up in the booth after a couple of those races.
All right, Jacob. Sounds good, man. Have a good night. We'll talk to you again in the coming weeks.
Yep.
All right, folks. Well, that wraps up a weekend at Bristol, and man, it was a doozy, Byron.
Oh, absolutely. It was a great race tonight. You can catch us next Sunday here for the clipping. Oh, 2 Sundays. See, this is why I don't take the lead, man. Go ahead. You got it. You got it.
You heard it, so you see it there on the screen. Our producer, Sean, actually has the dates right this week. So we're off for this coming week. All of SRN is going to be off each series. So getting kind of a week to reset ourselves after Bristol. It was a bit of a chaotic week, but we got it done. Cup guys really brought it tonight. We saw a great race. But you can see it there. We're going to have the Clippy 200 at Martinsville Speedway, the paperclip up there in Martinsville, Virginia. Man, if we saw anything this week in short track racing, we're going to see something next week in a flat short track, Byron.
Oh, yeah. I'm not excited to say the least. No, I love Martinsville. It's one of those tracks that, I mean, you're either good or you're not, and we're going to find out who's up front. We saw Jacob Smith dominate this race tonight, and it's very well you can do the same thing next week.
And I have to imagine you say you're not excited because you're not one of those drivers that's locked in per se, and you got a lot to lose if something goes wrong. And that's the case for a lot of drivers, as we're only 2 weeks from the playoff cut line, so it's now or never, and you got a lot of guys that are going to be trying to get up to the front, so it's going to be chaotic. But yeah, you see it there. Our next race is going to be on April 7th, about a week and a half from now, for the Clippy 125, also at Martinsville Speedway with the Truck Series.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great time. Can't wait. Everybody come out and support. Like, comment, subscribe, and also share this post and share the races because we're putting on a great show every week, and SRN's putting a great job on tonight so far.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So we're going to go ahead and take a week to collect ourselves after the first of 3 short track races, but like Byron said, we appreciate you guys liking, subscribing, and watching this broadcast. But for now, we're going to go ahead and let you go and sign off. But remember, as always, to go faster.